But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Good morning. Friday morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. That's the black guy in the lobby every fucking morning.
He says, welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard. Good morning. Good morning. Friday morning. That's the big one. Friday morning. So I look forward to Fridays, not because it's, the weekend and, you're going to have fun. And Fridays, everyone loves Fridays. Just because he wishes me a good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Friday morning. Oh, man.
I never met that guy till today.
Oh, he's great. He's the best. He just makes you feel good. It's like oldie time black person. It's like, good morning, like get the door, tip your hat kind of a guy.
Jesus Christ.
I love it. Oh, yeah, it's just minutes in. My fucking show today. It's the Anthony Show. My fucking show. We're going to talk about racism and guns. Racism and guns on my fucking show. It's the Anthony fucking Show. So don't even bother trying to call in, motherfuckers, because Anthony don't take no fucking phone calls.
Your theme song, when you host alone, it should just be the theme song from Happy Days.
Yes.
Just a 1950s mentality.
50s, feeling good. That's right, people. That's right.
What was that theme song? How'd that go?
Well, there were two of them.
Not
there
rock.
Was
yeah.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock rock. There was that one, and then there was Monday, Happy Days.
That one.
Tuesday, third. This was. I don't like this one because it reminds me of the shitty episodes where the later ones.
I thought this was the first theme song.
No, the early ones were just 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock rock. It was rock around the clock.
Okay.
It had nothing to do with Happy Days. They just took rock around the clock.
1, 2, 3 o'clock,
yeah.
4 o'clock rock.
This was it.
6, 7,
And it
8
said,
rock.
Fonzie didn't even get a fucking credit at the beginning.
Really?
No, it was like he was co-starring. E-Rock.
He was wearing the gray jacket. He didn't have his leather jacket.
Yeah, he had a windbreaker on. He didn't even have the leather. He wasn't like, hey. He was just like, hey, Cunningham, what do you do? Like, he was cool in the early ones.
He loitered outside the high school.
Yeah, he was just like, I'm not into the, school thing.
Right.
And then he just turned into this over-the-top, dummy-ass fucking character. But early on, it was this song. It was done on film with a laugh track instead of that video in front of a live audience where Richie would walk in and you'd have 30 seconds of, woo! Woo!
Right. Right.
It was done on film. They had outdoor locations. It wasn't just the Cunningham house and Arnold's.
Right.
It was done very well, the early ones. It was... because it was sort of that American Graffiti feel to it.
I particularly... Well, it was based on American Graffiti, right?
Yeah. And an episode of Love American Style, Love and the Happy Days.
Really?
Yeah, that was like one of the first kind of almost like the pilot episode.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I know everything about oldie time television.
You're just an oldie time kind of guy.
Oh, boy. Yeah, based on some of the home movies I put up on YouTube lately.
Right.
I found a whole bunch of home movies. Yeah.
I was looking at them last night.
I realized how ancient I really am. They're silent, first of all. There wasn't even sound. We were fine with taking movies with no fucking sound.
Right.
And it was cool. It was like, you didn't go like, wow, I wish we had sound on that. You just accepted that there wasn't going to be sound.
Yeah, and it's like you're like, back then it's like your Christmas movies ended up looking like some snuff evidence film in a courtroom.
It really is, yeah.
It's like creepy when there's no sound.
It's the Zapruder film, but with, little kids playing instruments and whatnot.
Like something terrible's about to happen.
Oh, I know. It also looks like old History Channel footage of two kids in a concentration camp. Ah, yes, the Children in Pink Pajamas documentary. I just need a Star of David fucking sewn on my little Christmas outfit.
So this is the beginnings of your band here.
Yeah, that's the first Rotgut video right there. Me and my brother Joe on Christmas morning playing our little instruments. I could only imagine, because knowing my dad, boy, that man liked to drink.
Really?
Yeah. And the fucking the whiskey bottle doesn't fall far from the bar because I like to drink too. And I could only imagine me smashing those hi-hat cymbals and my brother playing that fucking guitar and me crying and his hangover. That must have been a horror nightmare for my father.
Well, maybe he was just shit-faced when you were doing it.
Maybe he was still drunk.
Yeah, and he was like, fuck it, whatever, man. I mean, that's the only way to get through that. You couldn't, if he wasn't going, shut the fuck up, then he was probably kind of half-cocked.
Kind of half, probably half-snotted still. But he had the good sense to pick up a camera, though. A lot of people back then didn't even have movie cameras and stuff.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I also think, look, along with every other way that men were more of real men back then.
Real men.
I think they maybe just dealt with their hangover. It was like, this is the fucking price you pay. You get a headache, you chew some aspirin, you just chew it. You don't even take it. You just chew it.
I do remember hearing the crunch of aspirin back then. I can't even, if I don't get it down fast enough with water, that bitter taste kills me. And they were just chewing down old, like 1960s aspirin, which I'm sure was really raw.
Yeah, I was just watching that movie, The Rum Diary.
Yeah.
And yeah,
to see that on demand. Is it pretty good?
It was okay. I really liked the other two Hunter Thompson movies. I love Fear and Loathing, and
Fear and Loathing's good.
Fear Where the Buffalo Roam is great.
Yeah.
And even though this isn't a movie about Hunter Thompson, it's I guess a somewhat autobiographical novel that he wrote in some way. So it sort of does serve as it feels like a prequel to all of it before all the craziness in the second two movies happens, Right. And Johnny Depp throughout the movie gets a little more and more Hunter Thompson-y, but it never crosses over. You just want that scene where he thinks there's fucking bats flying around him and it never really comes. But it's good. It's good. Anyway, in the beginning, he's really fucking hungover, and he just gets up, and his eyes literally have red lines in them, and he just starts chewing bear aspirin, and I was like jealous watching it. I was like, I want to be that. I want to be a man like that.
Be able to do that. Like, I turn into a complete fucking pussy when I'm hungover. I make noises. I go like, I moan and groan. I have to have a cold rag on my head.
Right.
And I need a lot of water, and I'm constantly on the verge of throwing up. It's terrible. And then I remember growing up, and my father, not a pleasant guy when he was hungover in the mornings, especially, going to the room and be like, Daddy, don't bust my chops, leave me alone.
Right.
But he got up.
Right.
He got out of bed and he ate his fucking eggs and shit like that, and I'd be puking. I
don't know how. I mean, it must just come with, training, for lack of a better word, that you just get used to a certain lifestyle, and you go, hey, I'm the kind of drunk that has to get up at 8 a.m., and that's just the way it is. But, like, I don't know how people do that. I have friends that work in the industry that have desk jobs, an office job, and it's like they'll fucking drink with me until 4 a.m. and go home and then wake up at 8 and go work 12 hours. And I literally, I'm like, well, thank God all I have to do tomorrow is get a bucket of KFC. Because that's, you know what I mean? Why
that's
can't
your
they,
day.
Why can't they deliver this fucking shit?
You don't even want to go out for it. Fuck.
I don't know how people do it, man. But I guess it's just training. You just get...
Yeah. I put up some more videos. I got another Christmas video up there, not just the one of me and Joe playing instruments. It's me and Joe going to bed on Christmas evening. And if you notice, we go to bed, we lay down, and then 2 seconds later, we jump up and open our eyes. This is because my father knew he was going to be too hungover to actually be up when we got up for Christmas morning.
Oh my God!
So he he was ahead of his time. It's assisted reality.
Right.
He staged us waking up Christmas morning so it would be on film.
Oh, that's hilarious!
So we're sitting there, and there we go. 2 seconds later, we just jump up, and I look like I'm fucking heavily sedated all the time and on the verge of tears. I was a little retarded kid. And Rich Voss just stepping in.
Voss!
And I just know that my father was like, he was going to be so hungover, he wasn't going to be able to deal with us Christmas morning, so he staged us waking up Christmas morning. Those are our little home movies.
Jesus, dude.
He raped you.
Well, no, not quite. Not that time. Maybe his friends did. I don't know. I'm always wondering if I'm not remembering something. Like all the shit you read about
yesterday.
That's the booze though. With everything that pops up in the news and you hear about these shrinks talking about stuff, it's not that there's any inkling of abuse or any fucking post-traumatic stress from something that happened, but you start wondering when you hear about people that just didn't remember horrible shit that happened to them. It's like, is there something I'm not remembering?
I think I was molested.
Do you think you were?
Well, yeah, because I remember my mom holding me naked in the air like that.
What?
You know.
But as a baby,
she's pretty strong to hold a 14-year-old naked up in the air like that.
Okay, now that could be.
Was that a bit? Did you just do a bit?
I just
that was good.
I just started that. Can you sit up straight? Oh, you are.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You know, in our movie, Sarah.
There it is.
There it is.
Wow, that was fast.
Immediately.
That was fast.
How about because I'm
Wow.
saying about Sarah?
Wow.
Because I have to bring up.
So you name dropped and plugged in one sentence.
And bashed you, Joe.
First of all, Joe, listen to me before we go on today, okay? You are under me. The last time we worked together, I put you on my show, and don't forget it. Now, because there's never a show that you could put me on, because one, you won't have a show, and two, you won't be able to follow.
I could,
okay,
but
shut up.
But let me just say this respectfully. Let me say this respectfully. You're right. I couldn't. You're absolutely right. I couldn't put you on the show. I could just put you in my movie. But our movie, Bobby. Before I get yelled at for saying my movie,
okay,
our movie, Bobby and
your
Bill.
Your movie was a short clip. Okay, it was a YouTube video. Shut up, your fucking movie. It was 7 minutes.
How many H's did you just put in shut?
So here's the deal.
Yeah.
We were talking about molestation. That's the only way I could bring it up, because it was Sarah. And she was so fucking funny when she said this. She said, I was never molested as a kid, that I could think of, and then she says, you know why? I was too unapproachable.
As a child.
As a child. Like she said it in such a sexy, fucking hot way.
So you're saying beautiful. It's the delivery that's really the funny part.
The delivery that's missing right now.
Yes, right.
Why is your stomach bigger than your chest?
Because I'm a fat loser. Let me tell you what I ate for the last 2 days.
Everything.
Let me tell you where
Bobby.
Let me tell you where depression took me these last 2 days. I had both days off. Wednesday, I ate. I got up. I ordered a couple breakfast sandwiches, and they gave me I ordered one sandwich. They gave me an extra one. I ate both of those.
A favor?
Yeah, I don't know. They're like,
I think killing me.
I think they're starting to learn. It's for 5G again. Just for giving a fat shit an extra sandwich.
Here he comes.
We know he's too sick to get out of bed. So 2 sandwiches. I ate both of those, and then I went out and bought a family taco kit. I wanted to make tacos.
Was it an adopted family kit?
Oh, shit.
All of them. I ate all of them.
You ate all of them?
All 12. And by the time I was eating the 11th taco, I was like, I'm just drinking right now. This is all I'm doing. Is drinking with tacos.
Right. You ate 11 tacos.
I ate 12 tacos.
No fucking way.
Yeah. I spaced them out a little bit because I got class.
What do you mean? You ate one in the living room, one in the kitchen.
I ain't a fucking pig.
Here's the thing with Joe. We've gone out to eat. And the problem, it's little things like he'll take a sandwich where you could easily put mustard on it, and he'll put pounds of mayonnaise on it. Ugh. So much fucking mayonnaise that, his heart should just fucking stop as he. Or we went out for burgers one day. We had turkey burgers, which is a little more healthy. But even when you go out, it's cooked on the greasy fucking grill.
It's fucking grilled on that grease
But this
thing.
fucking Jamoke has fucking burgers with mayonnaise. He puts fucking a layer of depression on it. It's just every fucking thing. And he's
I am out eating
fun.
with you. So,
He's still at the age where you can do that shit,
yeah,
though.
I guess he is. But
as long as he stops at some point.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow? That's his fucking expiration date.
Yes.
Yeah,
because you like the guy, and somehow he gets pussy. I don't know. Somehow he gets pussy.
Jesus, Rich. Can
No,
you blow up a guy's spot on the fucking radio?
It's a personality,
I'm
Rich.
helping you out.
It's
I'm
called a
saying that you're
personality.
good.
That doesn't help me when I'm talking to a girl and she goes, "I heard you on O&A." Boss goes,
You get a lot of pussy.
pussy.
Yeah.
Wait, here's the
And you want to put
deal.
that thing in me
you
now?
You just said a girl heard you on O&A. Well, if she did, you don't want to fuck her. Okay? That's one.
All right, let me rephrase the sentence. When I'm trying to bang that guy from Sea Caucus, and he goes, "I heard."
Okay.
Oh, no,
I heard you're a whore.
No, I didn't say he's a whore. I'm just saying throughout life he has girlfriends. He's not a player where he's picking them up and fucking them.
What
but
is
he
he,
has
the
girlfriends.
elephant man? You're talking about him like he fucking, couldn't get any girls.
I
Thank
said
you,
he
Anthony.
gets
He's got
girls.
personality.
I
Thank
said
you,
he
Anthony.
gets
Personality
girls.
goes a long way.
Yeah. No, it does.
What's that from?
Pulp Fiction.
That's right. Well, that DeRosa, but that better be one charming motherfucking DeRosa.
And he's smart.
Yeah.
He's smart. He's funny. He has a future. Not in comedy, as directing or something. Not in comedy. Because let me tell you something. This guy's been fired more than Steve Howe. It's unfucking believable.
New reference there.
Yes, I hired him
fired.
just not
Fired
to fire
from what?
him. Oh, are you kidding me? Clubs go, look, we got to talk to you on Friday. And then Saturday you see him at the airport.
You're making this up. Just he's just making shit up. Listen, here's the thing.
Here's the thing. Don't
Here's
use my
the thing.
fucking slogan.
Here's I didn't say it like that. Here it is. I wasn't done with the food thing, Rich. Yesterday. So I get up yesterday. I'm like, dude, I can't. I got it. That was crazy. That was way out of fucking control yesterday with all the tacos.
12.
I got to get this in control. So I get up. I go, I'm going to eat some breakfast. Breakfast with some leftover taco meat. I'm not going to lie.
Shit.
I go, I got to get out of the house. I got to get out of the house. So I go to the Apple store. I walk all the way over. I'm just trying to be out, like breathe or whatever. I'm walking home. I see the KFC. I'm like, motherfucker.
No. Oh, no. Come on, man.
I go in. I go up to the counter. Now, I live in basically Midtown, so the KFC is really, like, way retarded overpriced. So I was still guilty. So I go in and I go,
to keep them out.
Oh, Jesus. So I go in and I go, do you have any deals right now?
Deals?
Yeah.
What are you, in Bangladesh? In the marketplace?
Dude, I haggled this. I swear to God, the lady goes, not really.
You haggle a KFC in Times
It
Square,
worked.
Midtown?
Well, in my defense, the lady was from Bangladesh
Oh, okay,
that worked
so she
there.
was used to it?
Yeah. She's like, finally, somebody I can relate to.
Where the chickens are live when you sell them. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll give you a good price on a 12-piece bucket. Now you have to pluck and behead the chicken. So she goes, deal. We don't really have any deals going on. And I go, and she goes, well, how many pieces do you want? And I go, I don't know, like 8. Because I knew it was going to be an all-day kind of affair.
How much for a rib?
Yeah. She goes, I can give you like 8 pieces and 2 large sides for like $15. I was like, done. So she puts it all in the bucket. She starts putting biscuits in. I go, I don't eat the biscuits. Can I have something else instead? She goes, you want a third side? I'm like, yes, that's exactly what I fucking want. He gives it to me. I took that home. When I tell you, I mean, I was so sick from eating. I didn't eat all of it, but I was. And
good.
At 1 o'clock in the morning, when I was like, I have to go to bed right now because I have to wake up at 5, I was in the kitchen eating cold KFC over the sink.
Dude, come on. You've got to be thinking about it when you're doing it.
What do you mean?
You've got to be going like, this isn't good for me to do.
No, I was saying it out loud to myself.
Oh, okay.
I was literally going, this is ridiculous. Literally out loud. This morning when I went in to get coffee before I left, I was barefoot. I stepped in something. I go, what the fuck is that? And it was greasy chicken crumbs that had fallen on the kitchen floor.
They're so dirty.
It was like finding a Coke straw on your coffee table the next morning. Like, oh, God, I got to stop this.
But they're so, like, I won't go into any Chinese restaurant unless it's P.F. Chang's. And I might have talked, because when I was working up at, this is a weird store. When I was working up in Poughkeepsie at Bananas. Francesi bought the room, and it's run by, let's say, people that are good with computers. So I don't want
Asian people.
No, the other ones that are also good pediatricians and doctors. And
Indians?
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So now I'm not saying their culture. They come from, I think, a dirty culture. Because one time we went to Dunkin' Donuts. Listen, we went to Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
No, because when you say Bangladesh, we went to Dunkin' Donuts.
Bangladesh.
Can I say
I
this?
said Bangladesh.
I love that you were afraid to say the word Indian, but then as soon as somebody said it, you go, now look, they come from a dirty
well,
culture.
I'm gonna tell you
Dirty
what happened.
culture.
I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you what happened because it seems kind of weird. One time we go into a Dunkin' Donuts, I'm not lying, the guy that worked behind the counter was taking his break. He was sitting at one of the tables with his shoes and socks off, picking his toenails.
Oh, fuck.
I swear to God. I swear.
Come on.
You could ask, I swear to God, out in public. Okay? So now.
And that man's name was Russell Peters.
And so then I'm at this hotel that's so fucking dirty. Like, they don't even have a mop. One Indian would hold the other one by his legs and do the wheelbarrow, and he would stick his tongue out, and they would just mop
All
the floor.
right now,
That's what-
Rich.
No, but it was very dirty. Anyhow, so I'm trashing them on stage, and I get home Monday, and I get an email that says, from this sports group, and I can show you the email. We're looking for somebody to work and do this show in India, right? For what's
to
your
go
price?
to India.
So I told him, I said I want $25,000 with $10,000 deposit, which I never got a response. But I don't know if those
shit.
people from the hotel, I think they were trying to set me up and kill me.
What? For what?
Yes. Why would you trash their whole culture on stage for a weekend? They get home Monday, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you get a, hey, would you like to work India?
Maybe they thought you were funny.
Yeah, people
No, they
like
weren't-
that kind of
no.
self-deprecation.
I don't know. It seemed too
No?
I was kind of nervous.
Maybe you just asked for an insane amount of money.
No, to
and
fly
they were
to
like,
India?
They were
Yeah.
like, we can't
No,
afford this. Our
no.
government will collapse.
Actually. No, they
Rich,
were
you're
a
not
big
important
sport.
enough for people to want to kill you. You're just not.
Oh, yeah? Say it
Yeah.
to my wife. You're right. That's true. I am not important enough.
Yeah, I'm
it's-
not saying you're not an important guy in some sense in your own head, but people probably don't want to kill you. Doesn't matter if you're walking the earth.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't think they probably just thought you were funny, and then they were like, 25 grand is too much money.
No, this was this was some big sports agency in India. I could show you the email. But you would think they would come back with a. I said,
What is it? By the way, what is an offer for a gig from it? You look like they just mail you like a chicken head. This is very honorable.
This is the way we let you know that we would like to have you. We give you a chicken head and goat foot. If you accept these gifts, you accept the deal. You must play at Pankot Palace.
I don't want to do the gig. You're insulting them.
Yeah,
and you're embarrassing
I'll eat
me.
it.
Rich
But
is
I'll eat the
opening up for the
chicken head in
guy
my
they
kitchen.
burn in the cage that they lower into the lava. Kalema!
You treated them like Willie Scott, and they
Yeah.
didn't fucking like it.
Right.
No, you would think they would come back with a counteroffer if it was legitimate, right? They
That's
would
an
come back
insult
with a-
in their country.
How the fuck do you know? You ate chicken over your sink, so you think you know their country? You fucking idiot.
I'm joking.
Oh.
That was just a joke.
Oh,
Jesus,
okay, I'm
Rich. Sorry for just trying to have fun with my pal. You fucking asshole. Jesus
You got to
Christ.
be on the defensive around here. You never know when it's fun or if
You
it's
know what,
fucking-
Rich?
What?
Not today, because it's the fucking Anthony show. And today, I'd like to not just beat the
mean.
shit out of each other. Let's actually talk about things.
Go
You know?
fuck yourself,
Let's just
Anthony.
fuck you, you hunched over fucking fat fuck, and you Jew motherfucker.
You
And
fucking cocksucker, you.
we're
That's what
actually going to talk about
I
things.
had a question to ask you,
Oh.
a real legitimate
Oh.
one. And
Well,
I was thinking about
this is
driving.
exciting.
I was thinking about just driving in. As a person of as
Color? What?
as a racist and an anti-Semite. Do you,
I'm not as much an anti-Semite
know,
as
don't
I am
think
a
you are.
racist.
No, I don't think you are.
I do like the Jews.
I do think you do.
But I am a racist.
Do you think?
Jesus
do
Christ.
you personally think?
Yes.
Do you personally think Israel should attack Iran?
Yes.
Now, do you
I
think?
absolutely think they should.
Okay, do you think they should do it with or without the permission of this country?
Permission? No, they don't need our permission. But I would love if the United States would cooperate in some way, shape, or form, either as some type of, logistics backup, because we got some pretty cool shit. We could fly over, AWACS and whatnot, help them out. Maybe lend them a few of our big bunker buster bombs, because these things are buried pretty deep in those Iranian mountains to get to those bunkers. But Obama is trying to steer as clear as he can of this Israel-Iran situation. Here's the problem. If we wait and don't do anything, and Israel waits on us, Iran will have a nuclear bomb. They've said that they want to wipe Israel off the face of the earth. They're not a very tolerant nation. We've seen that. And I absolutely believe that they would use nuclear weapons at the drop of a turban. They would, if they feel any type of threat, I think they would use it.
Well, okay, so say Israel does, and it'll feed into the total anti-Semitism in this country to hate groups and this and that. Look at Israel, enough already. Why do we fund them? And they're doing this because it could cause an all-out fucking world war. You know that.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen when Israel jumps in there.
So, okay, now deep down, as well as any level-headed person, Obama really does want Israel to attack Iran, but he just wants to save face during an election year coming up, not to send troops again back into another country. You know what I mean? He's on the whole campaign of I'm pulling troops out.
I don't think he'd send troops in. I don't think any president that's in office would send any troops in to support Israel if they decide. Well, if somebody else,
Iran. What if Israel hits Iran and then Lebanon and Syria?
They can handle themselves.
They wouldn't
Israel?
They wouldn't send troops in unless it was an occupation kind of thing. That's the only time they send. You know what I mean? If two countries are going at it, they'll let them go at it.
But they fly some planes over.
But what if three countries go after?
They have no fucking unity in that area as far as even against Israel. I don't think they can just come up with a plan to unite and beat up on Israel. It's one willy-nilly country after another. And Israel's pretty good at taking care of themselves. I think, again, logistics support and hardware is one thing. I don't think we'd have to send any troops over there, to be honest with you.
All right.
I absolutely think they should strike Iran before they really get out of control, to tell you the truth.
But why doesn't England, why does it have to be Israel? Why doesn't anybody else do it?
Because Israel's the one that's in there, and they're the one that's most threatened. I think if Iran decided to use any type of military force against England, they'd know there'd be a lot of shit going on. Israel, I think they could get away with. It's sad to say, but I think they could actually poke their nose into Israel and not get as much flack from the rest of the world as they would if they bombed England.
Yeah, but when Lebanon was, shooting Scud missiles or whatever missiles into Israel on a daily basis, just drop. Well, were they
like little rocket attacks that they would do?
But the fact is, that would never happen if, say, fucking Connecticut was sending those missiles into New York. Don't you think New York would have the right to retaliate, right?
It depends on where in New York they're hitting.
That's true.
If it's fucking, Scarsdale, there's a problem. If it's the Bronx, not so much.
But how come, when Israel retaliated against Lebanon, Israel's the bad guy?
Yeah, but Israel's always going to be the bad guy in that part of the world. They decided to settle down in the middle of a fucking bunch of people that hate them.
That's where
they should have fucking hunkered down in Asia somewhere.
That's where the fucking UN sent them. That they didn't settle there. That's where the UN declared this is their state. That's where they sent them after World War II.
That's how we keep you guys under control. Keep you surrounded. You know how dastardly and sly you guys can be.
That's true. That's true. But when you're laying in the hospital bed and you're looking up, you better pray it's a fucking Jew looking down on. Okay.
Those dirty from their dirty cultures.
When you're in fucking court ready to face 10 to 15, you better pray a Jew is your defense attorney.
Oh yeah, because he did so well on my fucking
I didn't say divorce,
case.
You fucking idiot.
Jesus.
No, you got to go with a gangster when it comes to divorce.
Yeah, you need the guinea.
I'd say blacks and Italians are leading the lawyer right? Shapiro and Cochran would be the two.
Oh, yeah. No, but a true Jew lawyer is
Shapiro's
what
a
you
Jew,
need.
you fucking idiot.
Shapiro's Italian, isn't
He's
that
a
Italian?
Jew. He's a Jew.
Yeah, he's Jewish.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Shapiro is a Jewish name?
Yeah.
Sounds Italian to me.
Well,
It ends with a
Jew.
vowel.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. No, they still make the best lawyers. I know that.
That was
Okay.
So
Sorry.
So what I'm saying is,
that wasn't a knock against Jewish people.
No.
I just-
So, but I'm not talking about the
Doesn't say that.
anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
After Israel retaliated against Lebanon, I'm talking throughout the I guess the liberal media in this country makes Israel look like the bad guy in this country.
Yep.
When yet they're doing what anybody else would do
Right.
in that situation.
Yeah, but then there's the people that will say they don't deserve to be doing that anyway because they have to do a little more sharing as far as their land goes.
Well, that's kind of weird because after the 6 Day War and they took the land from Egypt and they gave it back.
I understand the history, but it's not like your example before. It's not like Connecticut is trying to take some of New York's land or setting up buffer boundaries.
Well, Lebanon,
into,
they didn't take land from Lebanon. They didn't take any. So why is Lebanon shooting missiles over there?
Because they get pissed that their Palestinian brethren are being so oppressed by.
Yeah, but not yet one Arab nation will take the Palestinians.
No, because they say that they deserve
causes
to
conflict.
be in Israel's on Israel's land, and that Jerusalem is part of their holy land, and they're entitled to it, and that's why.
Well,
there's
and
a
I
problem.
guess Mexico deserves to take Texas and California back.
No, we kicked the shit out of them for that fucking property.
Okay, and so did Israel during when six countries came after him during the 6 Day War and wanted to wipe them off the face of the earth and take their land.
How long is that war?
6 days.
Oh.
I think it was 6 days and a couple hours. So.
Was it?
Yeah,
It
I
went
think they
overtime a little
I
bit?
think it went 4 hours. And I'm not talking about breaks, coffee, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've always thought it was actually 5-day word, but they thought 6 had a better sound to it.
It does sound
So
better,
they said
yeah.
6
You just did my joke opposite, you fucking asshole. I said 6 days and 4 hours, and you went 5 days. You did my joke completely. I'm talking serious here. So they took that
Sorry,
land after
I didn't mean to
they-
interrupt you when you were talking serious.
Okay. Oh, well, let's do that one again. Let's go after his.
It's always funny to me, and I don't care. It's always funny to me. I'm going to say it every time.
I'm going to order you some breakfast. So what I'm saying is,
What does that mean?
I'm hungry. I'm going to order you breakfast because I like them. They broke.
Where's he?
No, why? So you can break them again?
No, I'm not going to break
You
them.
don't want to
Just
break
glasses.
Let me
them.
just see him.
What's there to
Because
see?
they look nice. I
You
wanna see 'em while I'm
can't bite
listening
them.
to
Why
you.
would you want to eat them? You
Just
should
see
break
them.
them or
I'm
throw
not-
them. You fucking asshole. So you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Why? Not one country will take the Palestinians who were Syrians before the 6 Day War, and all of a sudden they're Palestinians.
Right.
All of a sudden, here's a new race of people. After they were trying to abolish Israel wins a war, takes land like any other country does, then gives it back to Egypt, in the peace treaty,
Right.
for us to help arm them, okay, which this country is too fucking dumb to know, and they go, well, why are we supporting Israel? Why are we sending over military?
No one knows about the history,
Why are we
that's-
sending over military, which we send more money to Egypt than we do to fucking Israel, all right? But
You're
these fucking
sounding
morons-
very Jewish now.
No, well, we do.
You're sounding a
We
little
do.
biased.
Do we send more money to Egypt than Israel? Yes.
I don't know. I know we send a lot to Egypt, and we shouldn't
Okay.
send a penny to Egypt,
Okay.
especially while
Why-
they're holding American hostages right now. But
Why do we fund Israel's military? Because during the Israel-Egypt peace treaty, that was part of the deal. Give back land, we'll help support you.
right.
Okay,
I know
and land
this.
is worth a lot
What are
of
you getting at
fucking
there,
money.
Rich?
What I'm getting at,
Rich?
This
nobody
conversation is a hoot.
I know.
No, what I'm
You asked
getting
me
here,
one question. Should we bomb the shit out of some fucking savages? I said, yeah.
I didn't know that. You can't call them
like-
savages.
What?
I liked when we were doing the Indiana Jones bit better.
I know.
Indiana.
Right?
Well, no, you said
That
you
was
wanted
nice
to
and
talk,
dumb.
and you're smart when it comes to this stuff.
I would
You're a
love to
smart
talk,
guy.
but
right.
keep
right,
that stuff
I'm
to a minimum.
right.
We were talking about fucking stupid drunken Christmases, and Iraq's birthday is today. Iraq, happy birthday!
Big
Thank
4-0.
you.
The big 4-0.
No, it's not.
His
the big
waist?
4-0.
How old are you, Iraq?
34.
34.
34 last
That's how
year.
old I am.
Ooh.
We're the same age.
You're 34?
Look
Yeah.
at how much more Joe has accomplished.
Where did it go?
Oh, man.
I'm sorry.
What do you say?
Hold on.
E-Rock.
I think he turned 34 last year as well.
Oh,
E-Rock
shit.
said-
Are you shaving? Are you
34
shaving
again.
years?
You don't shave till you're 40, so.
Is that it? Yeah, yeah.
Are you shaving years, E-Rock?
Nope.
Don't fucking lie to me.
1978.
78?
Yep.
Damn, man.
Shit. How does it feel?
No different than the last few.
Yeah, huh?
I'll tell you
They're
what.
going faster, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, same. Fucking
For
shit.
a nice birthday present, you know, because I want to show you good time as a thank you.
KFC?
No, I'll take you out tonight
He's
and
all
we'll
excited.
talk about whether or not Iran should fucking bomb
but here's
Israel
the
for
deal.
2 fucking
Here's
hours.
the deal.
Won't that
Oh,
be
no.
fun?
Here's the deal.
Here's the deal. Deep down, because he's Middle Eastern. He was adopted.
Oh, is
He's
that
I'm
it?
half Egyptian.
Okay,
That's
here's the deal.
great.
So he doesn't bring that out, but deep down inside,
Oh, right.
he hates us all.
What?
He does. He hates
No,
us all.
I just-
We're all infidels in Joe's
does,
eyes.
He does. And let me tell you something. He not only does he bomb on stage, he wants to bomb
Oh,
everywhere.
we get it.
God, would you stop with the...
Now, E-Rock. He threw his glasses. E-Rock.
Yeah.
Jesus, dude. Oh, my God.
Fucking sissy.
You're 34 years old. 34.
Yeah.
You were how old were you when you first came on board this wonderful program?
26.
26. Wow. What is different between 26 and 34 in your life? Like, what have you noticed? I
His
know
belly.
There's
I was
plenty
gonna
of
say that
jokes
his
there.
pants size.
Yeah, there's
God damn
plenty of jokes. No, were you a chubby little fuck when you first came on the
No,
show?
not at all.
No, you're in shape.
No, it took about 2 years into it before it all went to hell.
So now, how are you feeling at 34? Because I know after 30, it's not an immediate thing, but it's the downhill slide into 40, which is then a much steeper slide into 50. So, what's the difference? How do you feel differently?
Well, you start to realize that less and less of your family, to extended family, either remember or care that it's your birthday.
You're close enough. See, E-Rock's close enough to his youth to remember when people gave a shit or at least had a fake that they gave a shit about your birthday.
Exactly. Like, you used to get cards and presents from, like, family that you maybe see a couple times
Yeah,
a year
aunts,
'cause
uncles,
they don't live
cousins.
anywhere near you.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, well, all right, your parents sent a card and your siblings sent a card. But everybody else that you grew up with, you don't hear from anymore.
You don't hear from them anymore.
And those cards don't have anything in them anymore.
Oh, so you used to get the
those
check.
thick envelopes with those ridiculous cards that had like glitter or pop-up things in it.
Right.
But they always had like a Best Buy card or Toys R Us or something for clothes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now you're just getting happy birthday, not even a love, and it's just his happy birthday, family member
I don't
name.
remember that at all, but you're close enough to remember that.
It also sucks because the older you get, the more relatives die.
Oh,
and
yeah, that
you get
too.
less and less.
So you're getting
gifts.
less shit.
Yeah.
And that's really the sorrow about the
You ever
relatives
read-
dying.
You ever read cards, like if you have to give like a Mother's Day card or a card, like for my wife for Valentine's Day, I just wrote on an index card, Happy Valentine's. Because you read the
romantic, yeah.
cards and you're sitting there going, well, I don't feel this way about this person.
Yeah, yeah.
Because there's all this stuff, and you're going, I really don't like this
They're all
person.
very
You know,
schmaltzy, yeah,
well,
yeah.
because, it's to your mom, thank you for being there and loving and caring, but you weren't.
Yeah.
They don't have that fucking card that says, hey, thank you for leaving me on Grandma and Grandpa's doorstep saying I don't want them. Hey, thank you for having my dad set up. They don't have those fucking
You're
cards.
not in the right neighborhood buying your cars. I buy the Ebony collection sometimes. They're hilarious.
If somebody gives you a card that doesn't have money in it,
Yeah.
or a handwritten note, all they're saying is, "Can you throw this away for me?"
Yeah, here.
It's the most pointless fucking
Here's some
thing.
garbage.
Yeah,
Here's
what
something
am
for the shredder.
Well, maybe you don't have a 4-year-old that wrote "Love Daddy,
No.
Happy
But
But
Valentine's
that's
Day."
different.
But that's what I'm saying. That's different.
Yeah.
That's like a sentiment. You know what I mean?
You're getting
Listen,
it from older
there's-
And
people.
I don't want a 4-year-old because I don't want to have to share my KFC bucket with
You know
anybody.
which cards are great when you go into the store and you pick it up and it's the anniversary or even Valentine's Day, or the loving couple card that isn't quite loving. It's sort of like, though I do not say it as many times as I should throughout the year, I do love you. And it's like, this is from a guy who reads that and goes, this is appropriate because I really don't like her anymore. She's a fucking bitch. I'm obligated to get her something. So I'll get her the card that says, bah. Right. Aside from Valentine's Day and your birthday, I really don't even acknowledge that we're a couple.
It takes everything in my power to not put a pillow over your fucking face when I see you sleeping.
Every night.
But here's some candy.
Yeah.
When I get my older daughter's birthday cards, I get it with a black eye in it. I go,
a black guy in it. Oh.
Who they're not allowed to be with.
Yes. Again, from the Ebony collection.
And here's the thing, too, with birthdays. If you're not 21 or 100, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody really, like, it's
those
my
benchmark birthdays.
21 or 100. Yeah, it's my birthday. I'm celebrating all week. Go fuck yourself. Nobody cares.
It does. Look, it does get sadder through the years. E-Rock makes a good point.
Yes.
And so do you, Rich. But I have a party every year for my birthday. And by party, I mean I just tell my friends, go to this bar and we'll get wasted.
I've been to a couple of your birthday shindigs.
You've
They're
been
fun.
there. None of you other motherfuckers ever show up.
I went to one.
Boy.
The boss shows up. You guys can't fucking come?
This sounds like a drunken rant at the bar.
Yeah, I've never been invited.
Where the fuck were they when I was fucking out of my birthday?
I mean, when you can come out, Anthony. We got shit from Danny and Sam that they can't be here. Anyway, it does get sadder and sadder every year on the next day. Like when I wake up with that hangover and I'm like, I'm 34.
What'd I do?
What was it?
What was that about?
It's not it's just kind of, but
40's more of a motherfucker than 50. 40 is a motherfucker.
Why?
I don't know. You just, when I turn 40, I'm going, I have my fucking wife.
Kennedy was just shot.
No, it's
depressing.
That's pretty good. That wasn't bad. I like that one.
Thank you, Rich.
No, because like if your life isn't going right at 40, you're going. It's too fucking late. I remember at 40, I'm sitting in my shitty apartment, no fucking wife, no fucking semi-career back then, and I'm going. I got. My kids were off to school. You know, I used to watch them every day in the day, so at least my days were full. It was like the empty nest, and I'm going, I have not. And let me tell you something. The fucking anxiety was so fucking bad that it was insane. When I turned 40. 50, you're like, fuck.
It's a weird situation. No matter how old you are, I think, unless you're just early 20s or something like that. As long as your birthdays keep going on and you're not where you want to be, or you're not doing something, or you're really a bum. You will get horrific anxiety. I think that's what brought mine on in my 20s. Because I was like, no prospects whatsoever. I was fucking, in construction jobs. And just, it killed me because I knew I did not belong there. I did not belong with the guy that was fucking on the roof putting shingles up, talking about his fucking kids and how he can't afford anything, and it just sucked.
There's nothing worse than that man without a country feeling.
Yeah.
And I went through that too in my 20s because I was trying to figure out comedy. I didn't know what I wanted to do yet. I didn't know what I was going to do.
Here goes Rich.
I know.
How's that working out for you?
It's just the worst.
Trying to figure out who left me at a firehouse in Palestine.
Take it easy. My mom's listening this morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, now you feel bad, you scumbag? You don't feel bad because I'm your friend. And you're just
Come on
saying
in, Mother
things.
DeRosa. Listen to the show.
Listening?
I called my dad today. I go, tell Mom, you and Mom listen to the show today on your way to work. And I go, if it gets too dirty, just turn it off.
Most people will call their parents and go, hey, I'm on Letterman, or I have an HBO special. Hey, I'm doing radio.
And don't listen when it gets dirty.
Hey, do you want to call me as I'm driving to fucking Poughkeepsie? You fucking zero. Hey, I'm on radio. I didn't want to come into this piece of shit show.
Where the fuck are you going, Rich, between now and 10?
Exactly.
What do you got? Fucking
Exactly. Headlining bananas.
I don't see you going on fucking any of these morning shows on our 6 televisions.
Look, you don't take this fucking personal. You don't want to be here either, so go fuck yourself.
Oh, please, I know. That alarm goes off. I'm like...
If you didn't go on your Italian cruise, you wouldn't be here today, okay? You stupid low-budget vacations.
Low budget? That was fantastic.
I had a fucking boat capsized.
So was I. It looked exciting, a boat sinking.
Anthony really is. I fucking love how Long Island. You are such a fucking dago. He still takes package vacations.
Let me tell you something. Oh, the food, good food, plenty of it.
Hey, baby, this is a good deal.
Hey, look at where we are.
All you can eat.
Where's our next port of call? It's like you got a hotel that moves around with you.
You go on you went on an Anthony Pecorello tour.
No. Look, when I go on a cruise, it's not the package deal. I don't do the meal card where you're only allowed certain things and drinks and that. I go a la carte with everything. I'm a spender. That's what I do.
You spend a long weekend at the Poconos in a fucking champagne glass?
I have done that. I have done that.
How many? Every.
Trash with money.
I've never denied
You're a
it.
tin knocker with money.
I've never denied it, Rich.
New money. Anthony brings down the class average everywhere he goes. They go, oh, here comes this new money.
I have never made a peep to try to sound like I'm some fucking guy with a little bit of cash that isn't the whitest trash from Long Island. I'm the same piece of shit I was when I was living in a one-bedroom and knocking tin.
Every trip Anthony takes, there's a heart-shaped bathtub involved at some point. You know there is.
I had my own jacuzzi on the fucking deck on my fucking balcony. My own jacuzzi. I'm sitting there with beers. Hey, isn't this great? Hey, look at us. We got our own suite on the boat, honey. Come on in. Hey, we got our own butler. This is class.
Every trip he goes on, there's a parent hunting down his daughter.
Why don't you take this with you there? Hey, and there's plenty more where that came from.
You're just like when Ralph Cramden gets money.
I want a boat with 3 propellers.
A string of balconies.
He gave me $100 just to take the clicking out of the telephone.
My good man, small things to a millionaire.
And there's plenty more where that came from.
I can just see you on the deck of the boat with the ascot on.
I am a terrible
bathrobe.
I am terribly white trash. I do things I think people with money should do, but it's so like wrong. Our concierge comes in to greet us while we're sitting in this lounge area on the boat before we go to our rooms. And I know that everybody tips these people at the end of the cruise. I'm a tipper right off the bat. So I put a couple of hundreds, 500 in my hand, and I'm the worst at slipping it because I'm trying to be smooth, but it almost ends up like I'm thrusting it at him because he doesn't know what to do. So I'm just like, nah! It's falling out of my hand. He's got to pick it up off the floor. I'm trying to be smooth, but that's just, I'm trash.
I love how you do it smooth, and he's looking at you going, asshole, everybody tips us. Just give me the fucking
Just
tip.
give me the money.
Wait,
but I want him to know that I'm giving him a fucking lot of money. That people tip him like fucking maybe 100.
But where do you who do you tip on the boat? Because I never.
The first time you meet up with the concierge, tip that motherfucker.
But what do you get out of it when you tip the concierge on a boat?
That way, let's say I want to go on a shore excursion. I could get off the boat lickety-split. I take his fucking little private elevator down to get off the boat. I skip all the lines and everything like that. If I want dinner at one of the restaurants on the ship, reservation, smesurvation. I get right in there. I go, I want to have dinner at the Tapanaki place in 2 hours. All right, Mr. Anthony. I don't know why. Mr. Anthony, yes, Mr. Anthony, you are fine. You go there and...
So that really works,
Yes, you
when
gotta grease them.
when you heavy tip the concierge.
Not at KFC.
Your concierge, yeah, they don't have concierge at KFC. And then the butler, you got to tip your butler. He comes in, and he's the guy who's going to be getting you everything you ask for. So how
much you tip that guy?
I gave him $300 right off the bat, and he comes in with like sandwiches. So every day when you come back from your little excursion, the room's all decked out with food and fucking booze and all kinds of shit.
You tip him again at the end?
Yeah, then I tip them a little more at the end. Not. I don't give them another 300, but I probably toss them another 100.
But I heard on a cruise, I don't know, you work them, right? You do cruises?
Oh, shit.
Right?
That's a comedy insult, people, when you say he's a boat comic.
I've tried, but you've got all the weekends, so let me on.
You just come back with I'm rubber, you're glue. I have all the
do you
weekends.
understand
I'm rubber,
how,
you're Jew.
Do you understand Rich has no concept of ad-libbing. He says something, and then you build off of it, and he goes,
Right.
Did you just say something along the lines of what I said? Yes, stupid! That's how fucking riffing works.
This isn't Meisner riffing.
You asshole.
No, wait a second. I heard on a cruise you can go eat anytime, like 24 hours. You can go
You
and
can
have
if you
like
want to
lobster.
fucking go to the buffet with the fat fucking farmers.
Oh, that's
and
what
go
it
to the
is?
buffet or Eroth. You go. No, I like going to the restaurants. I like if I want something in the room.
Yeah.
The butler comes in and he will literally set the room up like a restaurant. A nice table by the big window overlooking the deck
With lobster?
and that, yes, and tablecloth, the candles, the flowers. Everything, and set it up, and he doesn't bring you everything in tins like room service. It's on civilized plates, and it's the main course, and then he comes back and brings the next thing, and then dessert. It's that's what you're paying for.
So you can't get that. You can't get that kind of meal. The average person
not
on a
when you're
cruise can't get
fucking,
that.
not when your room is in the bilge, down below decks. No,
What's the bilge? What's that mean?
The bilge.
It's between here and
Oh no, that's pointed at his gut. No, that's the part in the boat that is full of water that gets pumped out.
Look how
oily water.
Look how much these are tighter on my waist.
Oh! DeRosa fakes out Voss and farts in his face. We've reached that point. Does Mrs. DeRosa have to tune out for that one?
I don't know. No,
Mama DeRosa?
I think my mom can hang.
Fart humor's
for
good?
the fart humor, and everything we're talking about so far is good.
Yeah. I think we're okay.
Possibly when we get into some of the female discussions. That might be where it gets a little heavy.
No, were we chatting about anything that might come up as far as female stuff before the show started? I don't think so.
No,
I think we were pretty safe.
If they play the clips from that thing, I might ask my mom to stop listening.
Okay, right.
If that happens.
Yeah, from the podcast.
Yes,
I want to hear some of that shit because I heard it's hilarious.
I'm glad you want to hear it. And that, by the way, that wasn't my way of slipping that in.
No, I know. I heard you and Danny talking about it earlier. It's you. You went out with a girl.
Yeah.
And she turned out, as Joe says, to be just a fucking lunatic bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the one I met at
It just goes really badly.
No,
The date
Rich.
went badly.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, man, you are a spot blower upper.
Christ.
Why
You
you
don't
doing it on
say
a
shit
podcast?
like that.
You
You're
said
the
it on a
worst.
podcast, you fucking idiot.
You
I
don't
didn't say
say
anything
shit
about
like that.
Caroline's on the podcast.
I did just now.
Wow, do you blow people's spot up?
You really are.
Are you a man?
How the fuck do I know?
Rich, you just know not to say shit about a guy and a girl at a place.
So when
you're
on the-
putting shit
thank you.
together.
So when you're on the cruise,
Yeah.
right?
Just wait. No, you're not.
Oh, you're not getting away with that.
He's literally. This is what Rich is like in every conversation. Like if you took your dad and tried to like pull off a heist with your dad. And you're
Yeah.
like, Dad, all I need you to do is walk into the bank and say this. Like the way like anybody's dad would fuck that up royally. That's everything
Rich.
with Rich. You're just an old, dumb man. That
I'm not that
doesn't.
dumb.
You just
should
I'm
know,
fucking
though.
pretty smart.
Well, no.
I haven't
Folks,
been in the game
That's
in fucking
street smarts
10
right
years.
there.
I'm street. I didn't
You got
know.
zero street smarts.
No.
Are you crazy? I was a
You
crack
just
addict, bitch.
fucked up his spot.
I didn't fuck up his
yeah.
spot. Nobody's listening.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Did you hear
Don't
this?
act
Yeah,
like
every time you come in.
Yes.
You were
got
street
me on that one.
He goes, I was street. You just said I was street smart because I used to be a crackhead.
What do you think I
know
copped
those
it?
savvy
Oh,
crackheads?
yeah. I always ask them questions
You
about
mean
life.
those brilliant people that'll suck dick in public?
No, don't mix.
Yeah, they're
don't
fucking
mix,
riddled with street
Don't
smarts.
mix pleasure with addiction. What I'm saying is.
No, there's a difference between street smarts and knowing what, like the guy code.
Okay.
You don't blow a guy's spot up like that.
I didn't
Anyway,
blow this.
Although Joe blew my spot up
Yeah.
on a podcast once.
I did?
Yeah, you said something, and my chick was listening, and she's like, what the fuck was that? Oh, and it wasn't even on purpose, but I neglected to say something about the strip club we went to that night.
Oh, dude.
And you got on the air on your podcast, and she was listening to it, and you started talking about how we were hammered at the strip club and lap dances and stuff, and I'm like, oh, boy. And she was like, oh, God, you went with Joe to the fucking strip, those fucking whores and getting lap dances. I'm like, yeah, we fucking were having pisser. It's not. And then I have to do the why guys go to strip club things. It's not to sit there and beat off in a corner like an animal. It's fun to hang out with Joe DeRosa, have some drinks, and fucking look at some hose bags dance around. But when you know, you were talking about it, she was like, oh, man. And I'm like,
I'm so
fucking
sorry.
DeRosa.
I'm so...
How could you know?
Sorry, dude. No.
I've hung myself out to dry more times on this show, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay,
sometimes you never know.
Two things. That was a rookie.
Fuck yourself. Why? You attack me, and then when he just...
Joe could do more for me than you can.
He can't do more for you.
Good point.
Listen to me. Did he put you in his movie? Did he put Anthony?
It wasn't my movie.
Yes, you have a great part.
Listen,
You were on my show and rolled a fucking video camera.
It wasn't your show. I was on Opie's that day, okay? And I put you in, and you came off great.
Thank you.
Listen.
You came off better than everybody.
Ooh.
Listen.
Smart, intelligent,
Here's
funny.
the thing with the strip club thing. First of all,
I'm talking to Anthony.
He's not listening.
Go ahead.
It wasn't my movie. Please don't say that. Because
Why? It was a great movie.
It was our movie. It wasn't my movie.
That's what you tell everybody.
No, I don't. Stop it.
Man.
Stop
Are you
it.
kidding me?
I never say that.
Your intro is, he's the creator, director, and star. What, are you kidding me?
I don't say that. Stop. Stop.
I don't know.
You really are the Spielberg of that movie.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You're just, director, writer, acting,
co-writer, co-producer,
editor,
I did direct it, but it is not my movie.
Oh, everybody
our
thought,
movie.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was your movie.
I see what you guys are doing, and I will stop this discussion now. I'm not leading myself down this path.
Mommy, it's not my movie.
Is that the movie Cheat? Or Cheaters? What is it called?
Our movie was called Cheat.
Yes.
Cheat.
Yes,
Cheat.
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Very good.
Yeah.
The doorman was great.
Oh, that was Rich Voss.
The doorman. Rich Voss, classic. We bring Rich on. We do the scene 4 times with the lines in the script, and then I go, you know what, Rich, just make up your own lines. As long as we get to this point, he does it once. I go, perfect.
Hey, good. That's it. Cut.
I got an audition on tape that I sent the other day.
So-
They go, do it in your own words.
Oh, boy. That must have been hard to understand with subtitles. He has to send an audition tape with subtitles. Yes, Mr. DeRosa.
It's like the buckwheat sketch.
Yeah. It's an old buckwheat.
It's just question mark.
Yeah.
So, no, I want to apologize for blowing up Anthony's spot with the strip club thing, because it's not that was a rookie fucking move on my part. Here's just what happened. We were talking about Patrice and that night and how turbulent and emotional it was for everybody.
Yes.
Going to his funeral and all that stuff. And then I said, I ended up going out with Anthony after, and I was talking about our night, and I was like, we were really drunk, but I think the subject was everybody copes in their own way.
Right. And we coped with alcohol and whores.
It was still bonding. It was like we went to a strip club and we bonded as friends, and it was like I feel like it was our way of getting through the emotional pain of that night. I'm not just saying that.
You're right. And I never plan on going in that place.
Right.
But it's right on the way to wherever we're going. It's like just there. And then you go, and it's always such a good idea when you're hammered to go in there. It's like, hey, you want to go in? Yeah. And then you go in and it sucks anyway.
Were they hot? The dancers hot?
They're all right.
They're always okay.
Some of them
We were walking out of Patricia's funeral, and he's crying and sniffling, and it's so fucking depressing. And he's crying, and Bonnie's standing behind him and goes, you have a cold?
Oh, but she's the ice queen, that one.
She's a bad person.
Shit.
I called her next day. I go, you're just a bad fucking person.
She comes across as sweet for 2 seconds, like to look at her. And then she's a despicable person.
She's sweet. She's Bonnie is. It's like when you drink fluoride at the dentist.
Yeah.
The initial thing is like, oh, that's sweet. I'm gonna vomit. I'm all over the place right now.
I'm a little miffed with Bonnie also because she does not follow me on Twitter. And that's somebody I believe should follow me.
She will. I'll tell her.
I follow her. No, it's nothing that you could tell. She
probably doesn't know you're on Twitter.
Oh, really? She probably should have just done it. You can't tell somebody, hey, you're not following that person. Could you follow them? Because then it's insincere.
Well, but here's the thing. She knows how talented and funny you are. So she probably she is kind of airy.
I follow her because I find the things she says on Twitter funny and entertaining, and I feel she should reciprocate by maybe finding some of the stuff I say.
She's new to Twitter, too, so she is kind of airy about it.
Boy, you are making some excuses for your wife. Because that's nice, though.
She found John Stamos on there.
Uh-huh.
Well,
she does follow John Stamos.
Well, of course, because he banged her.
That's fucking... You know what? That is fucking true. She's following John Stamos. She follows Norton. And like, I don't even know. She might be following Opie.
Maybe she doesn't like you.
That's instantly what I start thinking. Like, she don't fucking like me for some reason.
How do you know you got so many followers? How do you know who's
I know, Rich. I look.
How many followers you have?
88,000 and change. I'm trying to get to 100,000, but I don't push it as hard as some people do.
Oh, God. Some people just make me sick.
I know comics.
When they tweet, just some people just make me sick.
Just tweet to get followers.
Yeah, it just makes me sick.
I know comics. I know comics that, I don't want to say anything, that nobody that whole nerdy crew, you know what I'm talking. I know guys that have 100-some followers, and nobody knows who the
100-some thousand?
100-some thousand.
Thousand's an important word that you left out there.
100-something.
You know what I mean. That don't know, don't fucking try to, you know what I'm saying? 100-something thousand followers, and you're going, who the fuck are they? How do they
I guess in their life they've achieved something.
Is there an app where you can get more followers or something?
No, you got to.
It's just called charisma,
Yeah,
Rich.
like Ian Black has 2.5 million followers.
Well, he's kind of famous, right?
Yeah, I guess, but 2.5 fucking million.
That's a lot.
That's a fucking lot.
That's a lot of followers.
You know how many Judah has? Judah has 250,000.
Well, Judah's
I know, he's on 30 Rock.
He's on television. If you're on TV, you're going to get a lot of fucking Twitter followers.
How many do you have?
23,000.
Yeah.
I don't try, though. I never
But you don't, you're not, and
I never plug
And you can't just put plugs up. If you're a comic, that's one of the comics' biggest problems. They're funny guys, and then all they do is plug where they're going to be. No one wants to see that.
Yeah.
Fucking unfollow. You gotta,
stop it. That's what I do. Stop.
I know, but
Yeah, but that only happens once a month.
You threw a nugget out last night that was fucking killer. That goddamn Bobby Kelly headshot bit that you guys did is fucking funny, man.
I want to hear you laugh at that.
That's
fantastic.
what I want to hear.
That's what I want to hear.
I watched it 3 times last night.
Bobby edited a video of him having me look at his new headshots, and he put it up last night, and he called me, and he goes, send this out. So I sent it out on Twitter, and then Anthony retweeted it. That's all it is.
Because it's so bad.
He had the best line. He had the best line during the tweet roast. Hands down, the best line. He said to the next person to go on stage, be careful not stepping in the shit.
Step in the shit that Billy Crystal left. That one got me, man.
It was so fucking funny.
Don't step on the shit Billy Crystal just left on the stage.
Yeah, be careful, Tom. Be careful to not slip in that huge pile of shit Billy just left out there.
So fucking funny, man.
Thank you. I loved when Rich wrote when Christopher Plummer won. And he wrote, he's white, I'm not standing up.
That fucking audience is liberal.
Oh, the liberal
so
crap. That woman from The Help, what the hell was her name? You know, you're half.
Octavia Spencer.
Octavia Spencer. She wins for Best Supporting Actress for The Help. And she goes up, and she's all in tears after doing the red carpet, and every time they showed her, people had to crow about how beautiful she looks in that dress. She's fucking fat. Stop it. She looks acceptable for a fat person in a dress, in a gown, but she's not fucking gorgeous. She's no Michelle fucking Williams who looked fantastic with her little pixie do haircut. She looked great.
Michelle Williams and Jennifer Hudson looks so hot.
Yeah.
She lost all that weight.
Yeah,
she looks
she
fucking
even looks good.
Gorgeous.
And then they bring her up, and it's like, no, she's not. But, all right. Then she goes up on stage to accept, and that white audience couldn't get on their feet faster. Couldn't get on it. It's like they had electric shock things in the chairs.
It's almost insulting.
It is insulting. It wasn't a milestone Oscar for a black person, first of all. It wasn't the first black person to win an Oscar. It wasn't the first black woman to win an Oscar. It was just another black woman that won a supporting actress.
Yeah. It was really...
And she was a method actress.
Oh. Jesus. Yes.
I wrote when that happened, I tweeted out, could these Hollywood people possibly be more racist in their attempt to show how not racist
they are?
It was one of the most demeaning things I've ever seen.
They
were acting like she was like she was mentally incapable of it or something.
We did.
Give her a standing O.
Really?
Because, you would have done that if somebody that was brain damaged got out there. You would have done that if somebody wheeled out on a wheelchair and accepted an Oscar. And then they stand up and do that. And then you get the black person. So, of course, you got to stand up. The white people are like, whoa, we got to stand.
That fucking got me sick.
It's a conscious thought of racism that makes them stand up.
Well, when I don't know if it was Oscar for Best Short or documentary, but it was an Iranian thing.
Yes.
And you know who, Holly, you know who the voters are. They're all
the Jews.
Okay.
Rich, the Jews.
Hey, these people hate us. They want to kill us. Winner.
Yeah,
You're going, what the fuck goes on in their fucking heads?
It's bizarro world on the Oscars,
You can't. There've been a lot of articles and essays about that where it's like we have a tendency to glorify people that now. I know the guys that made that film don't hate us, and they're and it's like
it is kind of an anti-Iranian government movie, as anti as you can get without getting your head cut off.
Yeah. And I have their classic, I'm about to say racist thing statement. I have friends that are Iranian. Disclaimer. But no, I do. And it's like, I understand that it's a divided people.
Yeah.
I get that. So, but the point of these essays is we have a tendency to try to seek out the art from, or the representatives in a way of this culture that dislikes us and show how much we like those people. You know what I mean? To show that we're still that we are civilized.
We're the tolerant ones. We're the civilized ones. We're the superior ones. It's like, look at what we do for you. We're going to give you a standing ovation. How great do you feel about that? It's so phony. It's so calculated, and no one talks about it.
We're going to give you low housing to keep you out of our neighborhoods.
Well, that's a good idea, Rich. What ixnay on the Ole Ostk housing, yay. We need that.
When they stood for her, I really wanted to throw a fucking...
It was crazy. I know. There was no reason. There was no reason for it.
It was demeaning. It was really demeaning to her. And I was upset that she was touched by, like, to me, I mean, and you can't, who's going to do this, but to me, I wanted her to be like, go fuck yourselves.
Sit down.
Yeah, I'm a good actor.
Sit your asses down, you cracker motherfucker.
Yeah, it was just really my buddy kept telling me to tweet this, and I wouldn't do it. I chickened out, and I go, if I was on the radio, I'd say it, but I go, I'm not writing that. I'm not letting that be out there permanently.
Be a permanent record.
Yeah, but he goes, he just keeps going, tweet, Angelina attempted to adopt 3 cast members from the Help.
Oh, that's funny, man.
It's hilarious, and I was scared to tweet it.
Oh, no.
I was just, because I was like, there's no tone in the tweet. I just didn't want to do it.
Isn't it fucked? Don't you find it fucked that you have to second guess a funny joke like that because you're afraid? How we've gotten to the point where we're literally afraid now to tweet things because, like you said, it's a permanent record. I was talking the other day with somebody, and we were talking about how in the past, you thought of the future and Big Brother and 1984 and stuff like that. Wasn't it you I was talking to in the bar that night? And we just
like most of our conversations. It's
exactly.
cloudy.
It's a fucking. It's a haze, an alcohol-induced fog. Our conversations, Joe. But I think it was. But we were talking, I think, about Big Brother and how they've always brought up Big Brother, and the government having cameras infringe upon your privacy with traffic cameras and these other security cameras, and then how they're listening in on your conversations and just putting your life out there, your credit reports, all this shit. And then you thought about this ominous form of the government, like in the movie 1984.
Right.
And the truth of the matter is, it's evolved into something that we never fucking expected. Big Brother is all of us, the collective, which is the government. It is the people.
Right.
But we're the ones that the second you do something, who's pulling out their cameras?
Right.
The people around you. They post it online, and they put it up there for everyone to see. It's not the government that's posting your privacy. It's you. It's everyone else. We're the guys. We the ones been putting up the pictures.
We were talking about this. I remember this now. And the whole theory behind it was the government, because the government is much, much, much more involved in the advancement of technology than I think most people realize. Like I took a great class in when I was in college. It was called the history of telecommunications or something like that. But it went through the evolution.
Stay awake during that one. Jesus.
It was really interesting to me.
Went to college.
But it was the state school. It wasn't like I wasn't wooing anybody.
No Ivy Leaguer.
Yeah. So it was. But it was about the history of television and radio, basically. And teacher talked about how. It was on the eve of digital television when I was in school. It hadn't come out yet, HD television, digital TV or whatever. And he said, this technology we could have been there literally in the 70s or the 60s. And he goes, but they just stopped. They stopped because the government said they weren't going to allow the further development of it. I guess they were funding it or whatever it was. They just stopped.
Now, what was the reasoning there?
There was no documented reason, but it was just very obvious that it was like the government will decide when it's the right time for digital television to be released. You know what I mean? For high definition and all of these, because of the doors that will open.
I heard it was a bandwidth issue early on. I also heard that so many people and the infrastructure was invested on broadcast television and then cable television that it just would have taken so long.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's that.
And the money that it would have taken years ago to get the equipment in place that we have now, now it's easy, relatively speaking. It would have been very tough back then to do it.
Well, you see the way the technology has. Here's my point. You see the way the technology has. Advanced isn't even the word for it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In under 10 years, home stereo systems have become obsolete.
Right.
DVD players, VCRs, and almost Blu-ray players have become obsolete.
Not in my house.
Of course, not VCR over there.
I know, Jesus Christ.
Beta was good.
Yeah. Which still has a rack system.
A big rack system. A Techniques turntable.
And I got this touchscreen remote, and it controls everything.
What did Billy set you up with?
Oh, shit.
So nothing. He said I'm not allowed to have a stereo in the apartment. But the point is like, dude, it's gone at light speed, and this is what we were talking about in the bar that night. To me, it's the government going, if we allow this to happen, they will do it to themselves. They will do it to themselves. If we put a camera in everybody's hand, they'll just tape themselves.
But was it that calculated on the part of the ominous government? I don't think it was.
They can monitor your email. They can monitor your email. All of your email now is routed through a device in your pocket.
Yeah.
It's in your pocket.
It's amazing, I know.
Right?
All that info.
Okay, so if they can monitor your email, there's no way they're not fucking monitoring your Twitter,
but I don't think
your Facebook and your.
Of course they are, but
hipster photogram or whatever it's called.
I don't think they're doing that because they had this grand plan to put that in place. I think technology got to the point, and when technology takes these steps forward, they look at it and say, wow, okay, we could use it for this, this, and this. You know, I don't think the government comes up with these things. I just don't find them that smart to do that as a whole. You know,
I disagree. But
as a machine,
I disagree. But Rich has a point.
No, but here's the thing: like you say. Yeah. I mean, you monitor. Look at your house. Look at all the cameras you have all over the place.
Love
it. And the thing. Wait till break and then we'll order.
What? Oh, well, Rich, I was just about to finish my order.
I know. It was working out fine.
Order too.
Well, order.
I got my shit, motherfucker.
That's why I kept talking so you could order, and then you
he didn't come in the fucking room when
You're
you
distracted
were
by a pinwheel, you motherfucker. We were still yapping.
You were talking to Danny while I was talking to Anthony.
Yeah, we're fine.
And I stretched out my fucking dumb point like I had something to say. You can order your stupid sandwich.
Grab the intern by the technology is. You took a course to let us know that we could use a fucking iPod.
Now I'm going to order on the air.
Yeah. You might as well.
All right.
Jesus Christ.
What do you have?
Yeah, Captain Professional over here.
I didn't even realize it is creeping up on
spray time, you
on half
idiot.
Past the hour. I say that because we do
replays. All right, I'll wait.
Half past the hour. But when we get back, I do want to continue talking about some of this technology and the repercussions and whether they're planned or they're just taken advantage of after their inception and introduction into society.
Is this a bumper? Okay. Are you doing a bumper?
No, I'm just kind of trying to remind myself by saying it, not to forget it. But I'm sure we'll come back and just talk about dicks.
I can't. The message board I used to go to says I plug a lot, so I'm not going to tell you guys that I'm at Marissa's in Trumbull tonight and Mohegan Sun tomorrow. At the casino, Mohegan Sun, I'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah, that's nice.
And Marissa's in Trumbull. But I'm not allowed to do that anymore because they say I come in here to plug. Okay.
Who's they?
Whoever they are. And the fans do come out. There's some good. You were there at Governor's when I was there. There was some great fans.
Yeah, that was fun, man.
Can you get to the point? I'm hungry.
All right.
Really? What part of the day aren't you? Okay.
Get the fucking plug out, Rich.
I'm not plugging because I don't want people to say, "Oh, he comes in to plug." You know, I come in to hang out. So if you want, I'm not going to talk about Still Empty Inside on iTunes because every time I'm in here, it bumps up.
Right.
It really bumps up.
We'll be back right after these words.
Sirius XM. And now, the Opie and Anthony Show.
What's up, Sexy? Hi, Sexy.
Hi, how are you?
Let's see. Daniel Craig's birthday.
That's it.
Wow. All right. Thanks.
You want your theme song?
What?
You want your theme song?
Oh, yeah. It's the Anthony Show, my fucking show. We're gonna talk about racism and guns. Racism and guns on my fucking show. So don't even bother trying to call in, motherfuckers. Cause Anthony don't take no fucking phone calls. Oh, I like my theme song.
That was great.
I like that. And it's accurate.
You guys are whizzes. You turned that right around.
Turned it right around, this crack production crew.
Hey.
Your mic isn't on, though. I'm not in charge of it, so it's not a goof. It's Sam Roberts' fault.
Can you turn my mic on?
There it is.
You're a good singer.
No, it's on. Oh, yeah.
I can tell a good singer. I sing a lot on the podcast, so I know good singers.
Oh, do you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like to sing. I'm a singer.
You know who actually can sing? Joe DeRosa.
Can you?
Not
Joe
like
DeRosa
you
can sing. Well, we've had some drunken karaoke moments, and how come everything is drunken before it? We've had some drunken hanging out, drunken karaoke, drunken conversations. And I love the fact that we were talking technology and stuff at the bar that day, and we're drinking. And it's like, yeah, wow, they talk about some deep stuff when they're drinking. No, that was followed by a fucking 2-hour conversation on Indiana Jones and which ones were good, which ones sucked. We were yelling at each other like we were discussing, Israel and Palestine.
I had to, if you remember, had to stop the conversation because Bill Bill Schultz from Red Eye, dear friend of ours. His brother came in, and I love his brother, but his
How do you say
brother...
I just love somebody? What the fuck is wrong with you? I love his brother. What the fuck? Do you really
talking
love
about?
You
him?
have hate in your heart, Rich.
Yes.
What's the matter with you?
Yes, that's why I come to this fucking radio show.
What's the matter with you? You really know how to just kill a story,
No,
too.
I'm just
you
saying
know,
the love thing really
you just
throws me off.
step on it.
I don't. Just go ahead with your
fucking
story.
ick face that you
fucking
have.
love. I love.
Make me
what,
sick.
You fucking Gandhi. Go ahead and love. Oh, why don't you tie-dye as you're telling the story?
Shut up. You fucking, you never had a fucking 4-year-old child give you a Valentine's card,
or
and he's
21.
fucking criticizing me about love. Did you hear that schmaltzy?
I know, it was very
my
fucking-
daughter gave me a card and
I love my
crayon story.
daughter.
I love my daughter. Oh, let's see. Let's give him a hand,
Listen,
everybody.
don't fucking
What do you
team
want,
up
a
with
trophy?
It. That
No, I'm
fucking
just-
love thing is overrated. I love his brother. You barely love him, so how would you love his brother?
For a guy that gets mad when you don't understand the fucking wrong words that he uses all the time,
Who?
you're gonna you stupid. You say things that are wrong, and I go, "What are you talking about, Rich?" And then you go, "You know what I mean? Shut up! Don't fucking you get it. You're really gonna nail me to the wall because I said I love that guy? Really? You're gonna hold me to the true definition of this right now?"
Yeah.
So say you like him.
I don't think he meant, that he loves him in a way he would love a
It's thrown
family
around,
member.
It's thrown around. It's like the word racist. It's thrown around too much.
You know what else is thrown around? Damn it. I tried to get the
He's
headphones
trying to
off.
get the phones off of that head.
You want to throw my glasses again?
Now, Bill Schultz's brother comes in, and you adore him.
I've spent many long hours in a deeply emotional relationship with Bill Schultz's brother. But his brother comes in, and I really like his brother a lot. But I was getting so mad at his brother for the way he was arguing with me about that last Indiana Jones movie that I was like, dude, I can't talk to you about this anymore. Like, it's
really
making
got
me
serious.
angry. Because he was being so dismissive, and he's going, oh yeah, it looked like he was wearing a costume. Oh yeah, it sucked. And it was one of those arguments where no matter what you said, he was just going to go, you're wrong, it sucked.
Right, which is a lot of debates people have, especially in a bar.
And
how many
you're
of those,
not changing their mind.
How many of those movies were there? Like,
4.
And all of them were good. I remember one with a ball.
Here we go again.
The Rock was coming at him.
That's the first one.
Okay, and then there was one with
That was a good one.
Sean Connery.
And
It's the third one.
that's the third one. The second one's with Short Round. And
Second one is about your gig in India.
you're right. You're a gig in India. You got to get the Stones back.
If you saw it, it's a great reference, which is what we were doing earlier.
Of course. And the fourth one did, I have to say, suck ass.
I didn't think it was as good as the other 3. I didn't think it sucked ass. I thought it was, I was
thought
like,
it
all
sucked
right,
ass.
for 20-year gap, and,
There's some things that just don't need to be done, and I don't think that needed to be done.
We don't need to have this discussion
Well, they're
again.
doing
Exactly. Because this is how it started. And it went on for 2 hours, I believe, and just got to the point where it was loud and slurring.
I wasn't even there.
Any
No.
argument is bad when you're stopping to take shots in the
Dude,
middle of it.
that's right, because
It's like
DeRosa stops the conversation. It's like, all right, and then, wait a minute. You want to do shots? And I'm like, yeah, let's do some shots of Jägermeister.
I think that's every debate I ever have. Hold on a second. What do you
Hold
want?
on. What this dumb, fucking useless argument needs is more alcohol delivered quicker to our brains.
It's the worst. Yeah. You're going to sit there and you're going to tell me that Occupy Wall Street is... Wait, hold on. Do you want vodka or whiskey? Vodka. Okay. Okay.
Vodka's a pussy drink.
Okay.
No, get me... What do I want? What do I want?
Yeah, exactly.
Then the debate just turns into what are we drinking?
Yeah. It's just a bad way to debate with
Oh,
somebody.
drunks, Rich. They've changed since you were,
Well,
Since you were fun.
since you were fun.
Hands down, Godfather 3 was the best.
I like Godfather 3. I don't think it sucks.
God.
Fucking George Hamilton, it fucking stunk.
Not
Your
their fault.
sequel suck guy.
I
It's
know.
not their fault that Duval wouldn't do the movie.
It's fucking Ghostbusters is coming out. They're remaking Ghostbusters.
It doesn't look like it's going to happen now because Bill Murray said he's not going to do it.
And isn't there a Top Gun sequel coming out, too? Which seems pretty useless.
Look at this.
I don't know. Why
I
would
never
they?
saw the original.
No, it's very gay. Very homoerotic.
Kelly McGillis.
What about her?
Hot back in the day.
I can't look at Kelly McGillis in Top Gun now because I've seen her in one of my friends' movies, The Innkeepers. She's in that. Ty West directed.
She looks very different now.
She looks
Yeah, she's older.
old. She looks fucking old. And when you see like Tom Cruise at the Oscars and realize like they were in the movie as each other's love interest, and now you look at her now and look at Tom Cruise now, Tom Cruise is sucking the blood out of small children to stay young. I believe that's what he's doing.
He really is the vampire Lestat.
Yes, Nosferatu. Oh, Lestat, right. He is. He's really that guy.
He doesn't get old, man.
No. And when you look at people that he's acted with around him, I mean, look at Iceman from fucking Top Gun.
Anthony Edwards?
Well, look at Anthony Edwards, too.
Val Kilmer was
Val
Iceman.
Kilmer.
Oh, my God. He looks
Val
like he
Kilmer's
was stung by a hornet's
fat,
nest.
old guy. Yeah. And Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards went from having a full head of hair to being fucking horseshoe cue ball bald in like a year. It was done.
He was bald by Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck happened there, though. He had hair in Top Gun, and he had hair in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
It was thin, though.
Was it thin?
Yeah, it was really like thin, receding hair.
I don't
was
think.
sad.
I think if you lose your hair, you just fucking lose.
Yeah, well, that's easy for a guy with a full head of hair to say, Rich.
What's the big deal? It's hair.
Well, you know what? Because you assume that hair is another part of the plumage that humans have that attract the female. And guys that lose their hair feel like they're down a couple of points.
Well,
because now they're just relegated to girls that will accept guys with no hair.
Girls don't care about looks.
They care about looks.
They don't.
Not all the time. And there are things that will offset looks. Money, sense of humor.
That wears out real
Being
quick.
held at gunpoint.
Yes. A hammer.
Yes, just little things. It's the little things the girls really latch onto. No, but
he looks just Tom Cruise. Like he looks ridiculous.
Do you think he has hair
He
plugs?
looks
Or
so
something?
good. Dude,
I don't
it's
know.
his face. His face isn't aging.
No, he's
So
not
he
getting
probably
those
gets-
wrinkles.
He probably gets Botox or something.
Dude,
I don't
it's
know, it
not
doesn't
work.
look Botoxy.
You could tell it's not work. Meanwhile,
Look at
Billy
us gushing
Crystal
over him like a bunch of homos.
Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal looks like one of those. Remember those things you'd buy on the boardwalk? Those rubber faces with the 4 finger holes in the back. That's what Billy Crystal looks
I
like.
tweeted what he looks like. He looks like the guy that hijacked the bus in Dirty Harry.
Oh wow, that's going back a ways. Might have to watch that again.
Remember the blonde hair, crazy?
Well, I do remember that.
No, but I just laughed so it didn't just hang out
guy.
there.
I don't give
So
a
it didn't
fuck.
hang.
I was being a friend.
Otto and George, by the way. Otto did from the pig roast that he does, pigroast.com. He did the news the day after the Oscars, where he sits on his picnic table out on his back patio, and just him and George. It's just him and George going through the news. They did a bit on the Oscars. It's in my Twitter. It's hilarious. It's so fucking fun. Just him and that dummy. And the wind's blowing the pages, and George is yelling at him, and you realize it's just him and a dummy, and it's hilarious. The dummy's head, like as he's reading the paper himself, Otto's reading the paper, George's head is moving along with it, and it's so natural you don't even realize that he's thinking about it. It's
right.
Fucking ventriloquists are weird.
I saw him take the dummy apart once, and it like freaked me out.
Yeah.
It was almost like watching him put a child like into a suitcase.
Dismembering a child, yeah.
I worked with a ventriloquist who just passed away. I worked with him on the road, and we were going into our hotel rooms, and I went to his hotel, and he's putting the dummy's clothes in another dresser drawer.
Oh, wow.
Like it was fucking
He
creepy.
unpacked the dummy
his
clothes.
and put them in like it's separate. And I remember I was with Otto one time, and he said, "You know what George thought of?" I'm like, "Whoa."
That's weird. They're a whole different type of person.
It's the most.
But he's the best. When you go to see any ventriloquist, hands down, Otto's the fucking.
He's great.
He's the best.
You absolutely accept, even though, I mean, and it's been said before, and even Otto admits to it, he's not the best ventriloquist.
It doesn't
His
matter.
lips are moving and everything. But it's a tribute to how good he is, the fact that the second you see him, you have no problem differentiating the dummy from him. It's two different fucking personalities.
It's a he's a true innovator of that craft.
Yeah.
And he deserves more attention and credit than he's gotten, I believe. And it's not to understate anything he's done. I just mean he should be in the history books of ventriloquism and comedy.
But he's filthy, is what it is.
Well, it's like look, for a guy to he's the only guy I've ever seen do it, and for a guy to sit there and have the dummy do the inner monologue.
For
when he's sitting there like sweating and bombing, and the dummy is going, "What are you, nervous, you fucking pussy? You make me sick." You're like, you forget. You're like, wait a minute, he's saying that to himself right now.
Yeah. And he's got to calm the dummy down. He's like tugging on his clothes, like, okay, George. And he's very subdued, like, oh, now, come on, be nice to the people. Fuck him up. And it's like, wow, that's him. Holy shit, that's him saying that.
It's the funniest thing I ever saw him do. I was at Caroline's watching him, and there's like this 300-pound Italian guy right in the front row, and he's wearing a suit. He's wearing a sport coat, but this guy's just a monster, right? And Otto's talking, and halfway through him talking, the dummy just turns its head and looks at the fat Italian guy and goes, "Jesus Christ, what size is that jacket, you fucking zilch?"
Just out of nowhere.
Just out of nowhere. It was so mean and so funny. I was laughing so hard.
Good. Yeah, he's fucking great. But he had something up there last night that was, again, very, very fucking funny. I'm on the Twitter a lot at night. And I don't know if it's good or bad. And then people are always like, it's the same shit, you know. Why are you still up? You got a show to do tomorrow. It's like, it doesn't matter if I go to bed at fucking 9:30 or 2:30 in the morning. I'm not going to want to get up. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be miserable when I'm fucking getting out of bed and driving in. But then you get here and do the show. So leave me alone when it comes to that. And they always ask, well, what are you drinking tonight? And I usually have to tell them because I am usually drinking something. Last night was wine. And then I've noticed this, too. I don't like drinking wine up until like 11 at night because then you go to bed and you wake up and you're feeling kind of hungover. So I've started drinking a little earlier in the day.
Jesus Christ. These are the signs. These are the early signs.
Well, no, these have been signs. But it works out better if I crack a bottle of wine at like 5 in the afternoon, let's say.
Do you and your girl sit like
I'm done.
Each in a tub, drinking wine like in the Cialis commercial, looking at the sunset?
What are you implying? I got a limp fucking noodle? My rod gets hard.
Jesus.
No, it's but if you crack the bottle at 5, then you're done with it by like 9. And the trick is not to open another bottle. Because
the addict to the alcoholic.
Yeah. Exactly.
That is the trick. Anthony he's such an old drunk. I just had a vision of you pouring Activia into your fucking wine. I gotta stay regular.
Yeah. Little Metamucil in there. Yeah.
It gives it an orange flavor.
Ah, it's fantastic. No, but see, that's the reason I'm not coming in here and puking or having to run to the bathroom with the shits or anything, or woozy from being hungover, is because you start at 5, you finish up by 9, and then you don't grab that second bottle.
Yeah, I mean, it's just proper planning. It's not alcoholism.
Exactly.
It's just proper planning.
Well, alcoholism would be going back downstairs, getting another bottle of wine at 9, and drinking that until 11, and now having had 2 bottles of wine, and it's 11 o'clock, and now you're really going to feel like shit.
Yeah, it's not like you're drinking in the morning. You don't have a problem.
No, I know, exactly.
It's not like you got a bottle over there in the desk drawer.
That's what it is.
Fine.
Thank you, Joe. That's
fine.
What I want. Your acceptance as far as my drinking goes.
And I have given you that in spades.
Yes, exactly. Dare you use that language here on this show. Every time. I must be a racist when anytime I hear that, I just think horribly racist things.
And you ring a bell?
Well, that's so the listeners know whenever I do
to get
that.
his butler here.
Yes. Oh, boy.
Jesus.
No,
Is that to call Rochester in here?
Oh, Rochester. No, the bell is, it's been, a lot of people have asked what the bell is. I might as well fill them in. The bell is, everybody knows that when an obvious racist joke is ready to be thrown out, I just have to do this, and people know that I was going to say the punchline, but to save my job, I don't have to say it. But now they know.
I see.
See?
Now I get it.
It's like,
Now I get it.
You say the beginning part, you don't say the punchline.
I see. Okay.
You can do that.
Oh, wait, that Twitter girl.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
What's it? No, what's her name? We were just talking about Twitter.
Are you still listening, Baby Doll?
Is that her name?
Here's my stupid phone.
Baby Doll.
Hold on, Baby Doll.
Baby Doll.
Somebody named Baby Doll. That's her screen name. Just started following me. I'm assuming because of the show.
Well, obviously now she knows you fuck a lot of people thanks to Rich Voss.
Oh, thanks, Rich. Yeah, look, see what happens?
Thanks, Rich.
I talk about him, and he gets a picture of a
Rich
beaten down pussy sent to him. That looks like a tetherball.
Her handle is. That's not bad to give away somebody's handle, right? Is that privacy?
Our listeners will just put nice things for her to read, I'm sure.
Look, your screen name is Baby Doll, and your handle has the word gun in it.
Oh.
There you go. That's discreet enough. You must know who I'm talking about.
What do you
Can
mean
you
handle?
email me a picture of your face? Because I love your twit picture.
Which is just her breasts, right? Just her titties?
Yes. Mom and Dad, if you're still listening, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
well,
sorry
you're
that you
just
have to
trying to
hear
pick
this.
up a girl on the internet. Nothing bad, nothing creepy. Nothing creepy. Soliciting a girl that sent you the tits pictures so you could see her face. It's nothing bad, not too creepy. Ooh. So.
She didn't send me tit thing. It's her picture. It's her public picture.
Of course it is.
Anyway.
It's fine.
Will you email me a picture? Go to my website, joederosacomedy.com, and then email me through that a picture. My email's on there under contact.
With a newspaper in your hand so we know what date it was taken.
Like a hostage.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, my email is joederosacomedy@gmail. So just email me there. And I want to see your face.
Oh, you know how many people are going to email you pictures, though, that it's like, oh, here I am. And then you open the picture, and it's just some fucking disaster.
Well, now that you said that, I'm sure that's exactly what's going to happen.
Believe me, they know. Yeah.
I gave up my password within 3 minutes. Every fucking gay site and everything. Listen.
When you gave out your password.
My email's on my website. It's not my email's not a secret.
Yeah.
So
but your career
sure isn't now. Oh,
asshole.
Oh, we were being nice to each other, too.
You're right.
know.
He's not been nice.
Happened.
Hey, baby, so I know it's you. Put your full Twitter handle in the email.
Oh. Because only she'll know that.
How hot do you
Right,
think
well,
a
I
girl
didn't give
is?
it away. And if you type Baby Doll in the search, she doesn't come up.
Oh, okay.
You
So
think she's hot? I mean, how hot is a girl that won't send a picture of her face, but her fucking box?
she
Hot
didn't
enough.
send a picture of
Hot
either.
enough.
It's her Twitter profile picture.
That's what I mean.
It's
who
just-
puts up their Twitter profile
Well,
picture?
if I had boobs like that, that would be my picture.
And a vagina.
I'll tell you, well, that's not her profile picture. We don't have proof that was her vagina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's true. It
Whose
looks like a
vagina
black
is it?
girl's vagina.
You can't dust for vagina.
What's that mean?
It was from Spinal Tap.
You can't
dust
dust
for vomit.
Oh, I thought it was from Martha.
Just some bad fucking. Great, thank you. Any English accent?
Yeah. Remind me to check my email in a little bit to see if she did it. Or
Don't you worry. We'll remind you. Speaking of you and girls, Joe DeRosa, I hear tell on your wonderful podcast that you do with Bobby Kelly that you had a little run-in with a lady friend that you went out on a date with.
Yes.
And it went horribly wrong.
Horribly, horribly wrong. Bobby's podcast, You Know What, Dude? You know what, dude? I'm on it a lot, and I was on one day, and his friend Kathy was on, who used to be his assistant, I guess. And
Bobby needs an assistant?
apparently.
What?
That's a big sandwich to hold.
Yeah. Could you assist me with this?
Oh, God damn it. That's the... All right. So, anyway, who's that?
Let's see.
Is that Baby Doll?
Oh, she's good looking.
I can't see her face from here. It's too blurry.
I just shit myself.
How do you know that's her?
Well,
We have a crack staff here at the Opie and Anthony show.
also
Oh,
it's
okay.
the background picture is that picture, the tits,
Yeah, but couldn't that just be a picture?
and it looks like her tits. Oh boy!
All right.
That's
Well,
her.
send me
Let's
a picture
see.
like that.
Well, where is she? Is that a pole she's dancing next to?
No, you know what? I think it's like
a window.
split mirrored sliding things.
Okay,
like,
right.
like
she's
a
in the
sliding
mirror. All right.
I
And
want to
she's
see a
taking
clearer picture.
It's just her in a bra and panties. They're closing this fucking place up like it's goddamn Fort Knox.
Are they serious?
Yeah, believe me. Yeah, they're serious, all right.
Anyway, so
Hey,
Bobby's she used to work with Bobby, and in fact, she used to work for my manager years ago.
Gets around, okay.
So we got into we were on together one day. We got into a bit of an argument on the podcast, and then
Good-natured or...
it got heated, but yeah, we were friends
What was
at the
the
end.
topic? Of the argument?
She was telling us how she was
Indiana Jones 4?
Yeah, exactly. It was Iran and Israel. So anyway, we just got in this heated debate about something, and she said, and I was calling her a gold digger, basically, and we were arguing. But then we made up, and we said we were going to go out on a date, and Bobby said, I want to see this happen because you guys are definitely clashing personalities, and neither of you is going to back down from a fight.
Oh, he saw it.
So we went out on a date, and we promised to do the recap on the show. But we went on a date thinking, like, this might actually just be fun because we're both kind of opinionated, whatever. And it could not have gone worse. So last episode, our last episode went up on Monday, and it was the follow-up recap date episode. And things got a little...
Was she
let's
there?
just say, yes, Kathy and I are both there, and let's just say we are not friends anymore.
Wow, it was that bad.
it is-
One fucking date, you get that type of...
It is nuts.
Animosity,
There was such a clash of ethics.
Ethics.
That's the only way I could describe it. I was ethically offended by her.
I was listening to this in the back, cutting it up, and it was tough to actually cut up because the argument and the points that are going back and forth, it goes on for so long. It would be trying to like cut like deliberation from like a 3-month trial.
Yeah.
like there was so much going back and forth, it was impossible to grab any one thing to dissect.
It's like trying to edit Costner's closing scene in JFK.
But there are instances like you could hear where at first it's like recapping, and then as the clips kind of progress, like Joe gets increasingly more and more
agitated.
angry. Oh yeah, there's
angered.
there's a few instances of agitation in these clips.
Got some
Okay,
rage.
good. So I haven't heard these clips.
All right, let's...
So I don't know.
I guess we'll start with the first one.
I'm going to listen to this.
Sounds like a good place.
I'll go with everything so far except the dress thing. I wasn't dressed too nice. I was dressed the way you dress when you go out to take a girl out to a fucking restaurant for dinner. Okay.
Ooh,
She
wow,
was made.
That already sounds a little heated. Fucking. You throwing the word fucking in there?
She made up the first time we met on the but the first episode of the podcast where this all got established.
Yeah.
Whatever the first episode of this arc. She had said something about like that I didn't put any money or time into my outfit, like that I was wearing that day, and she really did this dismissive,
That's
like, what did you
petty.
spend on this? $50?
And was that on the date or was that on the recap?
It was on the setup episode for the
Okay.
date where
Oh,
we
setup
said we were
episode.
going to.
Okay.
The episode where we said we are going to go out.
All right, so she critiqued your clothes during that.
Yeah.
So you went on the date thinking...
I thought I'll show her that I know how to dress.
Right.
So I put on a sweater and some nice jeans and some boots, and I wore a sport coat over the sweater.
Jesus. Right? Sounds a sport coat.
A blazer.
It
A
sounds
blazer.
like you're a professor at a Boston college.
A blazer.
A blazer.
All right, so that's what
All
I'm
right.
referring to.
Okay.
And she
Go out
kept
to a
saying I was
fucking
wearing a suit, and I'm like, I wasn't wearing
Wasn't
a
a
suit.
suit.
It was dressed up. So anyway, that's what this
Right?
is. Restaurant for dinner.
Okay. So did you get that makes sense.
Absolutely, Joe.
That was for you.
Yes. And there are many girls that like a nice sports coat. Like, I'm a jeans
Casual.
and t-shirt. Yeah.
Casual
I like
sports
I
jacket.
don't like guys too dressed up. I like the one
Yeah.
I wore to the fucking date because I'm like a casual kind of gal.
Oh, that's funny
I like
because
my
that's not
guy,
what you
I
said
don't-
the other day.
No, that's absolutely
No,
true.
it's not.
I don't like a guy wearing
You
a
said-
suit or a sports coat. I like a good pair of diesel jeans and a t-shirt.
And
Like,
I
good
quote,
to go.
Bob, you were here, and I quote, a guy should pick up the entire check on a date
What the fuck does that have to
because
do with
I spent
clothes,
because
Joe?
I'm going to tell you because it's your quote. Because I went out and spent $150 to get a nice outfit and some makeup so I could look great for him. That is what she said. She didn't fucking say, I like to show up in jeans and a t-shirt. I like a casual. If she would have said that, I would have taken her to fucking Lucky Burger and not a sit-down fucking $130 fucking meal.
Holy shit. Wow. And that's the first clip?
That's the beginning.
Holy shit. Right there, you could tell this is not going well.
This is like the beginning of Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Jesus, they're starting it with this robbery thing.
I love you, honey bunny.
Any of you fucking pricks move!
I've never listened to this. I haven't even heard this
But
yet.
she said the day before, look how you're dressed, and then you get dressed nice, and she said, I like a
And she
guy.
gives you shit.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They're
that's
fucking
bullshit.
crazy. They're
That's
all
Exactly.
crazy.
Exactly. And now this is the only other thing I'll say about that clip is that contradiction in expression or whatever you want to call it, her illogical whatever. That is the theme now that
we're
is
gonna
going
see many
to keep
instances.
repeating, where you're going to see she says things that she doesn't understand with their meaning, and she contradicts herself consistently.
Is she hot?
Yeah, she's an attractive lady.
Would you consider yourself diplomatic, Joe?
You know what? Honestly, Anthony, I would. But what I fail at, and I will be the first one to admit this. What I fail at is I expect too much out of people, and it's not, that sounds stupid to say. I don't expect too much out of people. I can't understand when someone doesn't act what I define as rational or logical or whatever, or ethical. And when they don't act that way, I start to lose my sense of diplomacy, and I start to get very angry.
So you get angry at every girl in the world because
You have a good vocabulary.
that's pretty much
most people.
You know that?
You have a good vocabulary.
You have a good vocabulary.
I have a lousy vocabulary.
No, you have a good one.
But thank you.
Well,
because I said diplomacy,
but it's based on Rich. So
I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rich.
I'm very fucking impressed. That fucking community college worked for you. I'm
Oh
telling you.
God!
I'm impressed. I'm
It's
impressed.
just such an obvious setup. Rich.
I know it. I'm
It bothers
impressed.
me that you
It's
think
not
I
a
don't
setup.
see it coming.
I'm not. I'm telling you, I'm impressed by
State
your
college.
Who cares? You have a good vocabulary.
Thank
That's
you.
all I'm saying. I can't compliment you. Maybe she is right. You can't take a compliment.
Oh
God! But you can take the steam out of something
By complimenting
Oh my God! All right.
All right, next clip now. Obviously, things off to a bad start. That was the first one. Let's hear how this goes.
The argument isn't don't order whatever you want.
What is
the
the
argument is when you order whatever you want and then go, tough shit, I put in my effort because I took a cab over here and I'm a fucking black hole on the date, and then deal with it. Just stop for a second.
She's Afro-American?
She said, this is because I was angry that she acted so entitled to this whole thing. Like I just owed her this, like, big deal. I don't give a fuck what you spent. I'm a lady. I deserve this. And she actually said at one point, I go, what effort did you put into this besides just showing up?
Just showing up, yeah.
Yeah, she goes, I put effort in. I took a cab over here. She actually said that. So now we're talking about, she was giving me shit about, like, really, you're going to be cheap and bitch about the bill and da-da-da-da. And I'm saying, no, I'm not. But I go, the argument isn't you can't order what you want. The argument is, I spent this money, and then you brought absolutely nothing to the table to deserve that.
Right.
So that's what this is right here. Black hole on the date, and then deal with it.
Talk about her vagina like that.
I was talking about her asshole.
Okay, but that's his story. But the way I see it, Joe, is that you could order what you want, but if you know, like, halfway through you're not interested, like, maybe, like, all bets are off. Like, it's like, just because things didn't go your way and I didn't want to go back to your house, when you take a girl out on a date, it's like a fucking gamble. And you lost. You put money down and, like, it didn't go your way. And that's that's the risk you take.
Black 17!
I don't have to.
Do you see? I didn't say you had to do anything,
Yes, you
Kathy.
did.
No, I didn't.
When
No, I
you
didn't.
realized I
never
wasn't going
said
back
that.
to your house, everything
No, Kathy,
changed.
when you ripped the phone out of my hands and acted like a fucking asshole,
Okay,
and I
hang on,
said
hang on.
apologize, and
Hang
you
on,
wouldn't, that's when everything changed.
Joe.
Okay. She, at one point, she was being really shitty to me, so I texted Bobby and I wrote, hey, dude, she's a real fucking asshole. And she goes, who you texting? Who you texting? And I went, texting Bobby. She goes, what are you writing? What are you writing about me? And I was like, none of your business. And she goes, let me see. I go, no. And she jumped over the table and physically ripped the phone out of my hand.
Holy shit.
So, all you had to do was go like that.
No, I actually, when we were on the podcast, I showed Bobby and Dan, like, how she did it, and when I showed them, they were like, Jesus Christ, seriously?
It's a little aggressive.
And I said to her, I go, if you were a guy and you just did that, we'd be fighting right now.
Yeah,
We'd be fighting. And she's like, I'm not a guy, deal with it. Deal with it. And that's when things took a hard left, where I was like, you're a fucking asshole, and now you wanna send this thing into the ground? I'll send it in the fucking ground. So that's when the date really got nasty and brought us to this point of being in this energy at the recap of it. But that's the phone reference. Was that it for that clip?
Yeah.
Okay. This is next clip. I don't want to over-explain everything. She's such a fucking prude.
Hang on. Take your dick down.
Look, hold on. Keep it going.
She's a prude. You think she's not
absolutely
a prude?
fucking prude. She wouldn't even. She barely was like. She didn't want to come into my house. She was like, I can't come into your house. It's
It's called being uninterested,
Like, what are you, a
Joe.
psycho?
Not
Then why did you go out with me,
Different.
Kathy?
For the
You fucking
podcast.
gold-digging asshole.
For
Then why did you go out with me?
For Twitter followers?
Kathy, congratulations. Your Twitter followers, you're not getting any because everybody's going to be on my side, Kathy.
Okay.
You look like a fucking asshole right now.
She definitely is an asshole, but it's very, very funny.
Wow.
She does this whole. Let me explain what that meant too about not going to my house. It wasn't about going into my house to fuck around.
Well, although that would be nice if a girl does that.
Well, I wasn't even referring to that. I was referring to at the beginning of the date. I said, just meet me at my place. And she goes, I'm not coming into your place. And she does, which is fine, but she does this whole thing where she's like, I'm a wild girl. I don't give a fuck. I'll say whatever.
One of those.
I'm adventurous. I'll do anything at any time. And then you go, but you won't walk into my apartment. I actually said to her on the day, I go, what do you think? I have a net hanging over the door that I'm going to drop on you? I'm like, what do you think is going to happen by walking into my apartment, you psycho? You're a psycho. So that's what I was saying. She's a prude. Like, she acts like she's this wild gal. Like, meanwhile, she thinks it's like
but a lot of girls don't want to go into somebody's place. I can see them.
At the beginning of a date?
I know you're not going to do anything. I know. Listen, I know you. But a lot of girls feel uncomfortable just putting themselves in that position.
That's another one of the games.
But that's
bullshit games that they play.
That's fine. But if you're going to do that, then if you're going to talk the talk, then walk the walk.
She took a cab.
No, God damn it, Rich.
If we're out with
you, girl, but don't tell me she's wild. Don't say I'm wild, and then you go, but you won't even walk in. What the fuck are you?
Girls should know. If we're out with you, we do want to fuck you. If we're out with you in any capacity, dinner, hanging out, movie, we do want to fuck you.
Right.
That's just the way it is.
That's not true. I go out with my wife all the time.
Oh boy.
So, all right. All right.
It's not saying you can't have a good time during the time that we have to do stuff before we might fuck, but we do, in the end, want to have sex.
Well, of course. Look, listen, of course, every guy wants to do that every time, all the time, with every girl that he ever looks at.
Yes.
But I just, I have no problem with, I just can't, again, now we're starting to get into, like, are you diplomatic? When somebody acts irrationally or illogically, it drives me crazy. So I just couldn't stand the fact that she was saying, I'm so much fun and I'm so spontaneous, yet at the beginning of a date, when we have dinner reservations, you won't walk. What is going to happen from walking? I don't even understand. Like, I can't even compute what the downside of that is.
Okay, but clearly this date, to her, is a bit. Did you look at this date anything else than a bit? Do you know what I mean? Like, she's doing it for the podcast. Were you doing it out of maybe there can be romance?
No. I went out with her, and as I said to her several times through the podcast, if you're gonna, I go, listen, if you want to do it for a bit, that's fine, but then chip in.
Yeah,
and be part of it, which she didn't, and it's going to get into that. It's gonna, you'll hear that. It's going to get into the money argument.
All right, let's listen to another clip
from this wonderful date. What's her name again?
Kathy.
Kathy.
With a K.
Joe and Kathy.
Remember when she said on the podcast last week, Kathy, what are the chances of Joe's getting the cock touch tonight?
I don't remember last week's podcast.
0%.
What are you, a savant?
0%. She said it on the podcast.
Yeah, your cock touch is a lot different than making out with somebody.
But here's the deal.
You
Joe.
said you never make out on the first date. Those
I
are your
said I
exact...
rarely make out
No,
on the
you
first
said
date.
never, Kathy.
Yeah, but what we're
But
saying...
I have, Joe.
Well, then you're
I
a
felt
liar.
bad. I kind of lied to you there. I felt bad. Like, what do
Why
I say?
would you
Sometimes
feel
I do,
bad?
but I don't like you to your face. It's fucking
Yeah,
weird.
be a fucking grown-up. Take out 60 beans, put it on the fucking bill, and take your fucking lumps.
Absolutely not. Are you out of your
Exactly.
mind?
Hang on one
Dude,
second.
I can't even. I can't. I
Don't
hate her
you-
so fucking much.
You don't take the headphones off.
I won't.
You don't
I
push
won't.
the mic away.
But I hate her
Then
so
I
much.
win. Then I win.
No, you don't win.
yeah.
You're a fucking asshole.
As a
in
bailiff,
life.
order in the court.
Please, I win.
You're an asshole.
As a
in
bailiff,
life.
I'm breaking this up.
Wow, damn it.
Wow.
Holy shit.
I pushed the fucking mic aside and took my headphones off. I was getting so mad.
Yeah, you were angry right there.
It's
for
what
real.
do you? I mean, this is the thing. It's like, what do you do in a situation like that when a woman makes you that mad? If a guy made you that mad, you'd be like, dude, we're gonna fight.
Man, you have
We're
no
gonna fucking fight. When a woman makes you that mad, it can't go there,
So
and you're like,
she
I have
says-
to walk out of this room right now.
You totally nail her with, you said you don't kiss on the first date.
Right.
And then she has to fucking dig it in with you by saying, no, I do, but just not you.
And
that's a direct jab at you.
And it is a jab. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Anthony. It is
Yes.
a jab, and I didn't appreciate it. But that's my point with this chick, is that she says she just is a walking contradiction.
Yeah.
She sits there and goes, I never do this. And then she goes, well, I lied. And then you go, then say you're a liar.
Yeah.
Then say I'm a liar. Then she goes, I don't have to say I'm a liar. I'm not a liar.
And
It's
then
like,
and then she pities you. Like, oh, no, I felt bad for you. It's like, really? I need your pity that you're not going to fucking kiss me? Fuck this bitch.
and she really made it like, she started to really make it like, you're mad that I won't make it. I'm like, I'm not mad that I won't make, I don't care about that. I go, I am just calling this for what it is now because you leapt over a table and physically attacked me and then acted like I had to just deal with it because you're a chick. Okay, you want me to just deal with your shittiness of being a chick? Then you're going to deal with my shittiness of just being a guy. Put out or give me money.
But wait,
That's it.
She attacked you or took your phone?
She ripped my phone out of my hand. Dude, I'll show you what she did. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Here.
Demonstration.
No,
It's like
give me
a
your phone.
courtroom now.
Okay.
All right. If we could have the
You want to know what an attack
defendant.
is? What Israel's going to do to Iran?
Oh, God.
Let me see. Let me see this.
Baby
attack.
doll emailed me. Here.
Oh.
All right.
All right, I'm texting
Now
Bob.
I want you to, when I try to grab it, I want you to not give it. Like,
Okay.
don't give. And I'm going to show you exactly what she did.
Okay.
All right, ready?
All
He's
right, I'm
holding the
texting-
phone. And
Oh.
Joe went to grab it and jammed his finger on the microphone.
Did she hit her hand on the restaurant microphone?
Hurt his hand on the
Switch to it.
microphone.
Grab the phone, Rich.
Oh, okay. You said, oh my
Joe
God.
hurt himself on the mic.
Wow. I hate to be the guy you get in a fight with.
Fucking, what is this, Charlie Brown? All right, ready?
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
She went like this. She went,
Wow,
literally,
wow.
like, I swear to God, that
And
aggressive.
you let her take it out of your hand?
No, I wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. That's what I meant by don't let me take it. I wouldn't let her take
yeah.
it. But she, with that force, as I was resisting, and I was like, you know what? Then I'm gonna. And I wasn't saying I'm gonna call this for what it is, meaning. This is what I want is for you to give me some ass. I didn't mean it like that. I was like, if you want to act like an asshole, then I'm going to reduce this to the most insulting thing I possibly can.
Right.
Now you're a fucking asshole, and I'm going to tell you that, and I'm going to insult you by saying, then pay for half the date or beat it.
Because at that point, her company was useless. Everything was useless except for the fact that, she might give you a blowjob or something. So
That wasn't going to happen. They hate each other.
I knew that wasn't gonna happen.
But he laid it out there like, okay, I'm a piece of shit. No, how about this? You didn't fuck me. You should give me money for dinner because that's all you're worth.
Yeah, it was
your company wasn't even worth half the price of dinner.
It was exactly. It was an insulting thing, but she never understood that, and she kept going. You were just mad that I wouldn't hang out with you, and it's like, no, stupid.
Oh God,
do you not get it?
This is infuriating.
Yeah, I'm getting fucking angry right now thinking about it again.
Could you have snuck out of the restaurant and left her with the bill?
God, Rich, that would have been. I don't know why didn't I do that. Rich?
That would have been fucking great.
We did it to Keith one night. We do it.
Because you know what? My jacket was at the table.
You put it on. I got to go to the bathroom, and you fucking.
She'll
just
know
leave her
he's
there.
She go. You better not fucking leave.
I wish you didn't. You know what?
Get up and run out.
I wish you didn't say that on the air, so I could have said,
Hey,
let's
look,
do a recap.
One more time. Let's try one more time.
You can. She's not listening.
You're right.
According to Rich, no one's listening.
Jesus.
No, I didn't say
Listen,
that. No one.
Anybody listening to the show right now, please do me a favor, and I mean this. Don't tweet anything about what Rich just said, because if you really care and want to see something mean happen, let me try to set up this date where I walk out on the check. Please don't blow up the spot on this.
Find a restaurant where there's a bathroom that you can get out without her seeing you. Like, let's go.
And
you know
expensive.
What I mean? You know, a nice place, and just fucking leave.
Yeah.
I'll leave before the food even comes out. I'll just order it all.
No, eat the food.
She
Get your
won't
food.
know.
No, I don't
never
care.
Suspect that.
Exactly.
Well, but no, you got to have the food come out, so it has to be paid for. Have it come out, take a bite, take one bite, so she'll go, oh, he's not running out until he eats. Take a bite or two, go to the bathroom.
You know you got to have a few drinks.
You know.
Like the way you think, Kubi.
Yeah. Drinks.
All right.
Skedaddle.
Yeah, guys, listeners. I mean, don't blow up the spot on this, man. This is too good. We got to make this happen. And then I'll report back on the show as well as the podcast. That's
okay. Any more clips? We got two more. Let's hear the next one. This is painful.
Kathy, I don't want you to give a shit about me.
Okay,
but you're making this. You're making
why would
this.
Why would I feel pity for? Why would I feel anything for someone
I'm
that's
not
ranting me about
asking you
everything?
to, Kathy, but open your ears instead of your mouth for once and listen to what I'm saying. I don't care. I don't care if you feel. This is her only response is to talk over you and go, "You're pathetic." This is my point, Kathy. I don't care if I have an effect on you or not. I said 20 minutes ago. Do you see what I mean? I said 20 minutes ago that it's a weakness in me that I let the shortcomings of other people get me this riled up. What bothers me about you is that when I say to you, Kathy, what you did was fucking offensive, and I'm not talking about the making out. I'm not talking about any of that stuff.
Bottom line, Joe, what did I do that is offensive? I didn't, because I didn't like you at the end of the day. That I should pay for it. Is that what you're like? Any girl? If pretend
when
I'm
you
just,
make statements
I'm just
like
any girl.
when you make,
what did I do that was so offensive?
When you
to
make statements like I did this just for the podcast, just like you did.
Too. I have that on tape.
Okay, let me finish.
You said this is a one.
Let me finish.
Podcast.
Let me
That's
finish.
what you said on the
I know I said it. Let me finish. I said when you say things like I did this for the podcast, just like you did. And you say things like, I feel bad about the money you had to spend, and you say things like, we knew this was a joke from the beginning, then fucking take half of the hit and spend for half of the fucking thing.
That wasn't the... I never would go out with a guy that I'm going to pay for half the
Then you're just a fucking asshole, then.
No, I'm not.
Oh, God. She wound you up, man. Damn, you were pissed.
Yeah, I was really upset.
You're yelling at her.
I hate her.
And saying, fuck, well, that's apparent.
I hate her guts. I think she's a terrible person.
See, I understand your anger, and I'm angry just listening to this, but I don't think I could do that with a girl. I can't. I could get mad, believe me, but I can't bring it out like that with fucking, you know, that's a talent. That's good. Like, I'm just thinking, like my ex-wife, absolutely. But as far as arguments go, especially something, you know, if you've been in a relationship a while and things are happening and you get into an argument, yeah. But one date evokes such hatred and passion to yell at each other like this.
You're not a, I mean, or are you? You're not really a lose the temper kind of guy.
No. I really have to be pushed.
He pays Keith to do it.
Yeah, that's it. Bust some legs.
He pays Kenny. And you want me to get mad for you?
What force should you want me to do?
So, but I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a fiery guy. Like, I have a temper, and I get mad at little. I get the things that make me the most angry are when something isn't working the way it's supposed to work.
Mm-hmm.
Like if my
careers.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why, like, in the past, I've had to really work on not flipping out on stage. You know, if I do a joke and I know it works and it's not working, my first tendency is to be like, "What the fuck? Why are you not laughing
you
at this?"
motherfuckers. That probably wouldn't work though with the
You're
crowd.
not likable.
So, well, you know, that's a big part of it. That's a big part of it. But, you know, my CD player, when I used to have one, I had one of those 5-disc Sony changers.
Braggart.
I know. An aristocrat.
I still have it.
The buttons were all broken off the face of it because it would skip all the time, and I punched it once. I got so mad that I punched it in its face.
It?
No, all the buttons were
I'm
broken
going to tell you
off.
what to do when you get mad, and I've said this on the air. Like, sometimes if I'm playing golf and I get really mad, just right here, you still see some
he
scars.
bites his arm.
Right here, look at it.
We've heard about Rich
If you
and
bite
the
your
way he
arm real
settles his
hard,
problems.
it takes the fucking. I'm telling you.
He bites his fucking arm like a mental patient.
My buddy is listening to the show, and he just texted, "That girl was and remains an awful cunt."
She isn't coming across very well, and especially talking over you.
The Twitter's popping.
If she let you talk and was civil during this, and you were like you are in this conversation, you'd come off looking like a fucking nut.
Yeah, I know.
But
She put out
it's her
$60.
fucking, like, just talking over you and contradicting herself and denying
and the
things.
grating voice.
Yes.
It's pathetic. It's pathetic. It's like
pathetic?
you entitled asshole. She sounds like a girl in my Super Sweet 16. You know what I mean? Or
those bitches.
Yeah, it's just awful. So
now, I guess this is the last clip. So
it's where he hits her.
Yeah. It sounded like it was gearing up for that. So the last clip of the recap of the date. Let's hear this.
You never in your fucking life, I guarantee it, have had to go out on a date and sacrifice anything up to and including and including this situation.
I lost a lot on
Shut up now. Shut up.
Oh,
Okay?
man. Wow.
You told me stories in the fucking restaurant about, like, when I used to drink, I would see a guy and I go, I'm going to flick my cigarette at his head. And I go, would guys hit you? Jesus Christ, it's horrible. She goes, no, they fucking loved it. Because you're used to putting your tits on display and let your little fucking thong top hang out and getting what you want in the cheapest fucking way possible. You didn't spend a goddamn dime on that date. You went out, you ate a fucking meal, you filled your stomach, and you went home. You don't. And if you did,
that's why I win and you lose.
Kathy, dude, get her out of here. I'm serious.
Wait,
I can't be around this fucking chick.
You don't walk away from the party.
I can't be around this chick. She's such a fucking
What are
asshole.
you going to do, hit her? No. All right, so stop. You can take it. You're fine.
You can't take it, obviously.
Joe, it's fine. It's just a girl with tits.
I don't fucking like her. I think she's a piece of garbage.
I win.
Holy shit. Oh, that I win. Like, she played you, got her dinner, gave you nothing, so she wins.
You know what? If you punched her and then a judge heard that, the judge would say, you know what? You were right.
I loved. You got to get her out of here.
Yeah, she goes, I win, and then there's that pause. Get her out of here.
Get her out of here.
Get her out of here, Freddie.
Yeah. Get her out of here.
I fucking...
It's you literally, you could go in front of a court, in front of a judge, and he would go, how can you explain? You would just go, Your Honor, she was asking for it.
Yeah.
She was asking for a punch in the fucking jaw.
To this.
She was running her yap, and he would go, all right. Yeah.
When she says, I win, you lose. But in life, she's really such a you know what I mean? In that situation, oh, wow, you got a free dinner, so you're a winner. Wow, I saved
What
60
kind of
fucking
guy?
bucks.
What kind of guy, if not you, would she like go out with and enjoy? I don't get it.
I don't.
What do
I
you
don't
think?
know.
The jock.
I don't
Maybe
know.
somebody that can
jock.
sit up straight.
She's.
Jeez, Rich.
Yeah, I'd insult to injury, Rich.
Yeah.
She, I don't know. I mean, you know, it was weird when I was talking to her on the phone. I said, to her. I said, I called her and we made this plan. I was going to go to her neighborhood. And I called her. I go, look, I have a really crazy day today. Can you just come to my neighborhood and we'll go out around here? That way I can work up until the minute you arrive.
Makes perfect sense.
Oh, well, that was a 20-minute fucking debate on the phone where she was... and that's
not going to debate you, Jerry.
Yeah, that's how this started. I was like, it's going to be this whole fucking thing, you know? And she goes, I go, listen, Kathy, just come to my fucking neighborhood and da-da-da-da. And she goes, okay. And I was like, you're weird. I go, that's all I had to do was say it like that, like an asshole?
Oh.
And she's like, well, maybe you'll learn something about me. And it's like, oh, you need a guy that's just going to dominate you.
No, that abuses her. That fucking doesn't want her.
But that seems to be like Joe. Like Joe should have been the love of her life after fucking that. The abuse, the rejection, the fuck you, the get her out of here. She should have fucking loved you.
Well,
if that's
maybe
the
she
case.
does want to hook up with me now. I don't know.
Maybe. Well,
I don't know.
But that
wasn't a. I don't think I'm not saying this to be defensive. I'm just saying, like, I don't think what I was doing was abusive. I think it was, we were arguing.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's the kind of, if she is that kind of girl, we're obviously pontificating, but a girl like that wouldn't respond to that kind of thing.
Yeah.
They would respond to, go fuck yourself, you piece of shit. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, they respond to a swaggering
I kind of found
dismissal.
That's what you came off like. Go fuck yourself, you piece of shit. I think you may have said that.
I come off, but I say it like a mad scientist. She wants
not like the swaggering fucking cool guy
she
piece
wants
of shit.
James Dean, a James Dean. I don't care about you.
All right.
I'm saying like
Dean
Christopher
sausage.
Lloyd. yeah, like Jimmy Dean. Sausage.
Go fuck yourself.
So I mean, she's
Peter Lorre.
But she's just a fucking asshole of a person, and it's like, what do you do? Like I said before, I almost walked out of the room because I was getting so mad that I was like, you're just like, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
I'm a guy, she's a girl. There's nowhere we can go from here.
You've lost all common
I'm
ground.
gonna have a fucking heart attack.
How old is she?
Because I can't scream any more than this. You know
How
what I
old
mean?
is she?
44.
Holy shit. All right, that changes the whole fucking game plan. What a set of balls on this bitch.
Here we go.
Tick-tock, motherfucker.
Yes.
Listen to this.
If you got a 22-year-old pussy on you, you could fucking talk like that.
That 44-year-old tractorsman should be paying $60.
Exactly.
Okay?
Here, I said to her at one point, she goes, oh, you're just mad because I didn't bang you. And I go, fucking, I date women in their 20s.
Yeah.
Grass over 30 is brown.
She didn't want to hear that.
And look, as for my many appearances on this fine program, I've got nothing against an older lady.
Well, of course, you've talked in the
them.
past about how you would bang older women and whatnot, but a girl like that, 44, a woman like that, a hag like that, should fucking be a little more appreciative, first of all, that anyone's taking her cougar ass out.
Right.
And as far as sex goes, she's playing coy like a schoolgirl.
She's never been married?
She should have showed up at the date with her fucking pussy hanging out. You don't fucking play coy with a 44-year-old pussy.
Showed up in an armored truck. Fuck, man.
That shit has been off the lot for a while.
Has she been
There's
married?
city miles on that thing.
I don't think so.
Treat it like a fucking, it's in the showroom.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Wax it. Stop it.
It is part of what fucking angers you.
The car.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody pile in.
It is a big part of what angers you in a situation like this. You can't help but sit there and go, I'm 10 years younger than you.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, have a better career, really.
Pussy don't age like fine wine,
you know what
motherfucker.
I mean? It's like I should be sort of a catch to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, unless you're going to go find some fucking banker,
right?
You know what I mean? That's gonna shower you with cash. I think this is a good.
Sell.
If we went out, you got a good chance of maybe getting taken down to Caroline's for free.
See? And at 44, that's a treat.
And I'll introduce you to the middle and headliner.
Oh. Wow, damn, what a set of fucking nuts.
Yeah, I thought she was 23,
That's
24.
what I thought. Some girl in her 20s.
I thought it was some hot little girl.
Playing all right.
Oh, no.
Playing
you
the
can't tell
game.
by her voice that she's fucking in her 40s.
Oh, that Lucille Ball fucking.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, Rich.
Yeah.
This fucking Joe DeRosa, huh? Ethel.
I had a tough day at the factory trying to wrap those chocolates today. Remember when we made that wine?
Wow. My feet turned purple.
I have to go. I'm auditioning to take over as Krusty the Clown of the Simpsons.
Fuck her then, 44 my ass.
Yeah.
That's fine. 44. I'm not even bashing 44-year-old women. I'm bashing 44-year-old women that come off with their pussy like it's fucking gold.
Yeah.
That shit's devalued. That's maybe some fucking tin.
It's
fucking silver plate.
Tin. It's like, come on, appreciate that. I guess that a younger guy.
Yeah.
Just you know what? It's not even in it. See, this is the problem. When you start to argue this, right? It starts to just sound like you're saying you have to have sex with me, and that's not what the argument is. That's a creepy argument, and that's not what the argument is. The argument is show appreciation.
Yeah.
Show appreciation by acting like a civilized human being and having a little bit of class. That's it. Some class.
That's it.
Act morally, ethically, whatever term you want to put on it. Just don't act like an entitled snatch.
Even if she didn't pay for half dinner, she could have said, hey, let me take you out for a couple drinks and maybe bought you a drink or two somewhere else. Something. You know, anything.
Yeah.
I told her at dinner, I go, you just lost, because we were doing this thing that we thought was funny where we're like, well, let's keep points for the podcast. See who gets more points.
Oh, it started out fun and games.
Yeah, it started out cute.
It ended, get her the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, this started like when you're wrestling with your college roommate as a goof.
And then it turns into ass sex.
Turns into
I wish I went to college.
But it eventually turns into the window's broken and there's a hole in the wall because it becomes a fight.
Someone needs stitches.
Yeah. So, but we were doing this points thing, and when the check came, I put my card down. I said, you just lost a couple points, and she goes, why? And I go, because you didn't offer. You didn't offer to give me any money.
And you didn't lose points for putting a Blockbuster card down? Nothing.
Good.
Okay, so that was a bad one.
It was terrible. It didn't even make sense.
They're all closed. They're all closed.
Jesus,
yeah, but
really?
you can't charge things with a Blockbuster.
No.
That was a joke.
It would have been
it
funnier if
wasn't.
you said Sears card or
Far
something, or
from it.
J.C. Penney's.
Okay, start over. The point thing. Start over, dude.
So I put my card down.
You didn't lose points for putting down a Kohl's card?
That's funny.
A Marshall's?
Yeah, that's funny. And then the way your voice cracked, at the lack of confidence in it made it better. She goes, I go, you lost points. You didn't offer to pay anything. And she goes, she got like offended. And she's like, well, I would never offer to pay. And I go, listen, I would never take it.
Right.
In a million years. I go,
the
but
offer, yeah.
I go, but when a girl offers, it shows me that she doesn't think it's owed to her. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah, she's a good person.
And she could not wrap her head around that concept. She was appalled by it.
She just has to show up. That's all girls need to do like that.
And she goes, a guy should, she said this on the setup podcast, not this one. She said, a guy should pay for everything and should pick up all the tabs because I'm spending all this money on looking great and whatever. And she shows up in this like fucking Forever 21 outfit. I told her on this podcast, I go,
Forever 44.
Yeah. I go,
It's a frock. She looks like Mrs. Roper.
Forever 21.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I go, your outfit looked like, every part of your outfit looked like it came out of like that bin where it's, you know what I mean? Like the $5.99 bin where it's all just balled up shirts and shit. I go, everything in that you wore didn't need to be ironed. It was like something you could just wear to the gym if you had to. You're a fucking bum.
Yeah.
You're a fucking bum. She's a bum, Rock.
A bum.
Yeah, so it's just, that's
how did it wrap up? I mean,
they're going out again.
She went out with. It ended with the setup that she's now she's going to go out with Dan Soder, one of the other guys on the podcast, to see how it goes with him.
See if it's you.
And the follow-up for that one will be coming soon. But they're going to go out,
or that.
They might have
but
already
does she
gone
not
out.
get along with Dan on the podcast too?
No, Dan. Dan
and her is a real laid-back dude.
Yeah,
he's not the kind of controversial
Well, let's see if he's
guy
laid back enough that he can take that fucking kind of shit.
Yeah, I mean, so
Dan doesn't have that kind of money to take her out.
Okay.
No. Well, that's the whole thing. After the fact, she's going. You could have taken me to a burger joint. I didn't care. Why didn't you say so? Hey, if you didn't want to spend that much, I feel bad.
Not wanting to spend it. She didn't get anything.
If you would have taken her to a burger
Idiot.
joint, that's all you would have heard. And he took me to fucking a burger.
Yeah.
You couldn't win in that situation. If you would have taken her anywhere but a nice place, then you would have fucking lost.
Good, fucker.
I was, it's funny. I was walking with Bobby the other day, and he's on the phone with her.
Oh, really?
And he goes, yeah, I'm right here with DeRosa. Hold on. And he puts the phone up to my ear, and he goes, Joe, say hi to Kathy. And I go, no. And because it's like after that podcast, she was like,
got her.
She was like, let me finish, Rich, for Christ's sakes.
Just throwing in.
Can we not judge every sentence, mister? I like how he was the one that was fucking upset that it was going to be mean in here today.
I know.
And he's the only one
being mean.
slamming. Yeah.
The only
I'm not
one.
mean. I'm just being me. I'm on your side the whole time.
Are you?
I gave you that great idea, didn't I?
What great idea? Oh, yeah.
I said you had a good vocabulary, didn't I?
You're going to do vocabulary.
Vocabulary.
You have a good vocabulary. We really should take a break, though. Do you want to finish up?
I was just I was finished until fucking.
But wait a second.
Stop!
I got a question to ask you about it.
We got to wrap up.
Oh, fuck off.
Do a break.
How come you won't get her on the phone? How come you don't want to deal with it?
I don't want to talk to her. But my point is like after that podcast, she was like, "Joe, it was all in good fun," and I was just like, no,
whatever. No,
it
wasn't.
No, it wasn't. Like I think you're a fucking bad person.
She knows it's not a good fun.
Like
she said that at the end?
I said it to her multiple times on the podcast. I don't like her as a human being. So anyway, that's that. It's out there now. You Know What, Dude podcast. The whole episode, which gets even more explosive than what you heard here, is up at riotcast.com. It's available on iTunes. Please follow the podcast or subscribe and download it and check it out. And check out the headshot video on YouTube right now as well.
Very good. I guess we'll take a break, and at 9 o'clock, we're doing ISDN with Brother Weeze and Opie and Jimmy are going to be joining us via ISDN line, which shouldn't be too confusing. I'm sure the technical issues will come off without a hitch, and then without the visual aspect, no one will be stepping all over each other as we talk all at the same time. So stay tuned for that, which we call the Clusterfuck Hour, not to be confused with the Shit Show, which is on at 10 o'clock, hosted by Shit Show's own Sam Roberts. We'll be right back.
It's the Anthony Show, my fucking show. We're gonna talk about racism and guns. Racism and guns on my fucking show. So don't even bother trying to call in, motherfuckers, cause Anthony don't take no fucking phone calls. It's the Anthony Show, my fucking show. We're gonna talk about racism and guns. Racism and guns on my fucking show. So don't even bother trying to call in, motherfuckers, cause Anthony don't take no fucking phone calls.
Ooh, I like that. I like that song. But the phones, they know, too. The phones, devoid of people. It is a virtual vacuum on the phone lines because I don't like the listeners contributing to this program.
Does that always happen when you're hosting, or just when it's just you, they don't even bother?
When it's just me, they learn. At the beginning of the show, they try to call up with their little anecdotes and cute little stories about what we're talking about. But first of all, it's very rare. I would say less than 1% of the time, anybody's call is either interesting, or entertaining, or pertinent to the conversation.
Right.
They're usually confused, muddled shit that comes out of that phone line. And then you're stuck trying to resolve it. You know, just fucking... Like, when I do the Compound Show, the second someone starts stammering, boom, I hang right the fuck up on them. They know. Boom, out. Bye.
How long did it take you to get the audience to just not bother anymore?
Probably 2 shows. And they knew by the end of the first one, really, that it was pretty much just...
This is it.
Don't even fucking call.
An example. Pick up line 1. Okay. Just pick up line 1. A random fucking call.
It's Pat in Connecticut.
Hi, Pat. How are you?
What's going on, Ant?
What do you got for the show today?
I just picked up a brand new Wilson close quarter combat 08, and that's what I want to talk about today.
Oh, that's very nice. A 40?
No, 45.
45, of course. Well, what do you want to say about it?
Just hands down, the nicest 1911 I've ever shot.
I have to agree. Hey, thanks.
Thanks. Thank you.
All right. Let's go to line 3.
Okay, put him on hold.
Hi, who's this? You're on the air.
This is Dave Harder from Pennsylvania.
Dave from Pennsylvania. What do you got for the show?
Dave Harder?
Dave Harder?
Harder? No, it's Harvey, not Harder.
I thought it was the guy I went to high school with.
Oh.
What do you think of the Walther 380? I think it's called the P99. What do you think of that?
I like the PPK-S for the Walther. I'm kind of a classic Walther guy. It's a great small carry for formal attire. Maybe you're going to wear something a little less baggy, a little tighter. You need something small to carry concealed. The PPK-S is great.
All right. I was gonna say I'm going for either like a little leg holster, but I'm not sure if the gun's too big.
What are you, a girl?
Oh, fuck off! Nah, I keep a shoulder holster.
What are you, a girl?
Right, shoulder holster's all man.
Hell yeah,
That's true. Underneath a suit jacket like fucking Mannix.
Let me do the third call.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you. I hope that helped. Let's go to Don in the great state of Texas.
Hey, Don. Welcome to Guns and Ammo.
Hey, thanks, Ant. Hey, I just got, my third S&W M&P 15 5.56 NATO, and I was wondering, I'm looking to get a scope for it. I was wondering if you could suggest, I'm thinking about an ACOG, but there's so many different ones.
Well,
I don't know which to get.
Yeah, an ACOG. What are you going to be shooting? Close range or mid or long range?
Well, it depends on how far they get in my yard, but you're about 100 yards.
100 yards. I would go with an ACOG. If you're doing like room-to-room kind of shit, I would go with an EOTech, one of the holographics. But ACOGs are great for mid and even some long-range shots.
Do you have any kind of model that I should pick? Because I know there's some that's got the over...
Proceed, Brinkley.
It depends on what round what kind of round are you shooting?
5.56.
5.56.
All right, yeah, so get one with a bullet drop compensator that's set for a 5.56 round. And you'll be set.
Do you have guns?
Every gun sounds like a Star Wars character.
It's amazing.
MX 388.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Paul in Colorado. Let's go to Paul in the great square state of Colorado.
Blowing up now.
Hey, Paul.
You know what? Going through life with blinders on, it's tough to stay, dude. Bop, 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 bop.
That was part of the Alice theme. Thank you, sir. And I guess is that Dune? It's Dune. If it's Dwayne, the screener needs to be shot.
No, it's Dune. D-U-N-E, like a sand dune.
All right.
Well, I'm wondering about the mentality of owning a gun.
Yeah.
Because I don't own a gun. I'm not a really big gun enthusiast. Guns kind of scare me. But have you actually ever come into an instance where you've actually needed a gun?
Not yet. But
it was a basketball game.
But as they say, I'd rather have a gun and not need it than need a gun and not have one. See, sir? And now what scares you about guns?
I don't know. I mean,
people like you owning one?
No, it's not people like me. I'm legal and legit and safe. What scares you?
I'm not scared of the gun itself.
But you said it. Kathy, you said it. You denying what you just said?
I'm not anti-gun.
Uh-huh.
For me, guns just I don't know, they kind of make me a little uneasy, but I'm not anti, the Second Amendment.
Why would something that can blow off one of your appendages make you uneasy? I don't understand.
Not if you're holding it in the right direction. That's it. Have you ever fired a gun, sir?
I have, actually.
And did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. They say now scientifically that firing a gun is very similar to small chemicals in your brain releasing, similar to when you have an orgasm or something.
I come in my pants every time I fire my guns. It's,
Hey, the only
quite a sexual
gun
experience.
I fire is my cock.
Yeah.
You know what I
That's
mean?
My gun, get it? With my jizz bullets.
Because it's got a load in it that I shoot.
All right, very good about the guns. Line 7, I guess Mark from Pennsylvania. Mark, how are you?
Hey, Ant, what's up, my man?
Oh, good. Very soft-spoken, Mark. Hi. Welcome to the Anthony Show.
Hey, you're absolutely welcome. I wanted to get your opinion on about Breitbart dropping dead the other day.
Yes, Andrew Breitbart. Of course, everybody, aside from the people that texted me up to 2 hours ago with the new news that he had died. People, believe me, fucking 24 hours after the guy's death, I pretty much know he's dead. You're not giving me the new news.
I didn't know he died.
Yeah, I know. You didn't know. But here's my opinion. I don't have an opinion on it. My opinion is it sucks. The guy was a fun guy to hang around with. He was a wild man, a maniac. But I think the right needed somebody like him. He never worried about political correctness. He just spoke his piece. Did he make mistakes sometimes? Fuck yeah. But that's just because he was one of the guys that didn't have to check, recheck, and then recheck what he was saying. He just fucking went off and spoke his mind about what he was passionate about. And he was usually right as far as I saw it. I liked the guy a lot. Hung out with him. Good drinking buddy. And I think the liberals and the left that are actually rejoicing over his death are some of the biggest hypocrites and fuck bags I've ever read on Twitter. If it was reversed and some liberal icon or some liberal powerhouse drops dead, and conservatives would come out and bash the shit out of him, there'd be all kinds of news stories about it, but they're not saying anything about this. I just think they're assholes and fucking hypocrites. And Breitbart, he'll be missed. He was fun and great to read his tweets. He used to just retweet everyone that bashed him, so he wasn't afraid to like show how hated he was by some of these fucking people. And I'll miss the guy.
Did he live?
What?
Did he live hard?
Oh my God!
Did he live?
Yes, good. I just hang right up. I don't let them fucking hang on the line so they can interrupt.
Did he live hard? Is that why he died at such a young age? Was he a big hard drinker and stuff? Or?
Yeah. When I saw him out, I saw some signs of some pretty good partying going on, and the capability to party pretty hard. In the past couple of months, also, his hair was disheveled. He was completely unshaven. And he had a few instances where he was going off on people like a lunatic in public. So I don't know if that had anything to do with anything. His last night, just less than an hour before he died, he was in some bar drinking some wine, just talking to some stranger about politics and shit. So it sounded like a pretty peaceful evening. And then he went to walk for a little while after midnight out in California and just collapsed. And that was it.
Jesus.
That was it. Bye-bye, 43. Jesus H. Christ. Jesus H. Christ.
That's scary.
But he'll be missed. I kind of liked his raucous style in politics and stuff because you barely get that. You know, you get people that pay so much attention on trying to word things in a way they want to get the point across, but they don't want to hurt this group or that group or direct attention toward themselves because they might get in trouble. He didn't give a shit, which was kind of refreshing.
Who was his employer?
He was
self-employed.
Yeah, it was Breitbart. The fucking.
But I mean, what did he
websites.
do? A journalist or?
Yeah. He had a web
freelance?
journalist, blogger, fucking political pundit. And you know, good guy. He was definitely a fun guy to fucking go out with. I'll tell you that.
There's a dearth of guys like that out there now. It's like I was sad when Hitchens died. I was sad when Hunter S. Thompson killed himself.
Yeah.
It was like it was reassuring to know that there were guys like that out there in the world that were like old school, that
Davy Jones.
Yeah, the loose cannon.
Yeah, that just kind of They lived, but not even loose cannon, you know what I mean? Like, because loose cannon implies crazy, which
he was pretty fucking crazy.
Creative thinkers, people that.
But just people that like you just said, like would walk the edge.
Yeah.
That would walk the line, the edge or whatever, and then go and then just say, hey man, that experience was what that experience was. It wasn't about defining it as, craziness or rage or addiction or whatever label people would put on, behaviors that take you beyond whatever point of expression that the average person is afraid to go beyond. You just kind of go where you go and say, this is what it is because I'm here for the experience, you know, the take the ticket, buy the ticket, take the ride, that whole thing.
Right, yep.
But it's a shame. It's the same thing with Carlin. Like those guys that just said, like, I'm going to be a spectator. I'm not going to be a part of this.
Yeah.
I'm just going to watch and commentate on the whole thing. And we're losing them. We're losing. I don't know if there are any.
This is a big one for the right.
There's new ones that come along.
But that's what makes him big, though. But let me tell you something. That's what makes him big. Like Breitbart was a guy that he was hardcore right, hardcore conservative. Yeah. And he would shake up the left so fucking bad that they ended up despising him. He would expose the hypocrisy, expose the political correctness gone fucking nuts. And, there are people that are too afraid to do that.
Well, no, Coulter does it. There's always a new one that's going to come up. There's always one.
Coulter does it to a point, though. Like she's vicious when it comes to certain things, but he got out there and in your face and fucking,
Well, yeah, sorry.
I was pretty much done with that.
Okay, I know I stepped in too soon, and I apologize
Don't worry,
greatly.
Joe.
It's your show.
No.
No, but you know what? It's a good point you bring up with the Coulter thing because I'm a fan of Ann's, and I've hung out. I mean, I've done Red Eye and stuff with her, and she's really cool. And I've gotten to eat lunch with Michael Moore and shit like that. I've gotten to spend a little bit of time with the extreme views on either side of that coin.
Yeah.
And I found them both to be very nice people, very endearing and very entertaining in what they do. But they do only do it to a point. Hitchens would go on a talk show and give the audience the finger. Fuck you if you don't fucking agree with That's what I mean. It's like Hunter Thompson. It's like we're talking about this guy stirring up the Breitbart stirring up the left. You'll get a guy like Thompson who was definitely way more left than he was right.
Yeah.
Did not like the right at all, and is clearly embraced by the left side of Hollywood without question. But here's a guy that had balls, that said crazy shit, that fucking did what he wanted to do, that was a gun nut, drug enthusiast, fucking booze hound. It's like, who like that is on the left anymore? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That guy was old school left.
Old school left,
fuck
right,
Nixon, we're fucking and doing some LSD. You know what I mean? Nobody like that exists anymore. You know,
it is true. So when a few pop up that even resemble that, it's terrible when they drop dead.
Well, that was the left.
It was making things exciting.
The Chicago 7, Abby Hoffman, and people like that back in the day where they were just anti-establishment left. You know what I mean?
It's different than the left now, which is just a bunch of whiny fucking cunts.
Yeah. They didn't give a fuck about political correctness. They were totally against the establishment.
They weren't giving standing ovations to people that don't deserve it just based on race.
Once you become the overdog, it is impossible for the integrity to remain. It just can't happen.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to be an underdog because an underdog situation means that money is not the driving force. Once you become the overdog, everything is ignited by money at that point. It becomes business.
Man!
Right? But you know what I mean?
But the underdog is trying to get to that point,
but that's my point.
We talking
and
cartoons or something? What about Bugs Bunny?
That's a good impression of Jim's character.
Jim's horrible character, Chip.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? It's like, but that's what you don't realize that when you're trying to get there, right? For instance, put it into terms of art. We're comics, right? We all fucking sit here and go, why can't I have a show on NBC? I want the show this. I want the TV show does that. I want the movie that does that. If I was Adam Sandler, I would make these kinds of movies. We all fucking say that. We all say it. Yet we never realize, like, there's a reason why a guy in Adam Sandler's position doesn't make the kind of movies we want him to make. Because you get to that point, and then there's people going, listen, motherfucker, here's the deal. You're a $20 million movie guy. You want to keep that going or not?
Yeah.
If you do, you're going to make Mr. Deeds.
Oh, you're gonna make fucking Jack and Jill.
Yeah, and if you don't, then have a good one, man.
But that's not true.
Free.
Kevin Smith does what he wants to do. He does indie movies. People do indie
But
movies.
Kevin
he's not a $20 million film guy.
But it doesn't matter.
Nowhere near that.
That doesn't matter because if he is what do you call satisfied, or if he is, you know what I mean, happy with what he's doing and making what he needs to make, that's all you need.
But that's the trade-off. Like, Adam Sandler might be happy with the fucking cash.
Yeah,
and not
Kevin,
the artistic integrity.
Kevin Smith is still an underdog, technically.
Yeah, he's still an indie kind of guy.
In Hollywood, not in life. In life,
No. Look, I'm saying though, you can do very well for yourself and live a very happy life. But unless you remain in some way the underdog, you're not. You can't
be the big winner. Yeah, once you're the big winner, everyone wants you.
You just can't.
I don't know.
It's why your favorite wrestler stinks when he gets the belt. And you're like, I hate this guy now.
I don't always agree with you because Spielberg puts out what he wants to put out. He puts out some great stuff. He also puts out, and you can't be more of an overdog.
Do you think Spielberg doesn't have to sit there and worry about box office figures?
Well,
he absolutely does.
He's spending $200 million or $100 million on the fucking movie.
Look, I'm a Spielberg fan. I'm a big Spielberg fan. That's real professional. The guy just takes a phone call.
You're in the middle of a conversation with Rich, and he just takes a phone call. Hello?
Fuck the conversation. You're in the middle of a major radio show.
The test is positive.
This is the guy that yelled when I tried to order a goddamn sandwich in the corner. Listen, here's the thing. I love Spielberg. I'm a fan of Spielberg. But there's a reason why the end of artificial intelligence sucks. There's a reason why the end of Minority Report sucks. There's a reason why the kid lives at the end of War of the Worlds. If Spielberg could do what the fuck he wanted, he'd be like, Tom Cruise is standing in the middle of a pile of ashes. He's all that's left. He is a man without anything. But he can't. So then his son's got to run over the hill after you think he died. Right. You go, God damn it.
But he can't. He can't. Because he chooses, he can't. Because Spielberg chooses what he wants.
But if he didn't do that, he wouldn't be Spielberg anymore. He just wouldn't be. He'd be Kubrick, where they would go
evil Spielberg,
where he would go, God damn, that guy had some big ones in the 70s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I still love his movies. No, he'd be Woody Allen, where you go, Woody Allen, dude. Do you know that Woody Allen can't? His last picture was his highest-grossing film of his career, but 2 films before that, I think it was, he did a movie called Cassandra's Dream. He could not get distribution for it. Fucking Woody Allen couldn't get distribution for his movie, and it's because he's out there going, I do what the fuck I want, man. They said in his documentary, his deal with the studio has always been, you hand me a bag with $2 million in it, and I'll bring you a movie, no questions asked. That's it. And it's like, when you operate like that, you do what you want, but that guy still lives in an apartment on the Upper West Side.
He's content.
I'm not saying he's not content, that's what we're talking about.
How do you know, Rich?
Huh?
How do you know?
That's a good point.
Because he keeps doing what he's doing, so obviously he is content. He didn't sell out.
But that's fine. The argument isn't are you content or not content. What the argument is in the 60s, the left was a tremendous underdog as a political party. And everything was everything was Nixon and Truman and Truman.
Are you talking about fucking Kennedy?
No, Truman was back in the fucking. It was different back then. Yeah, it was different back then.
But Truman was right, though, correct?
Kennedy was
Truman dropped the bomb.
Dropped the fucking bomb.
So Truman, Nixon. I apologize. I know I'm not very astute politically, but Truman, Nixon. It was the evil right. Our parents' generation, all this stuff, and the left was. the Kennedys and the good-looking young thing of the speaking your mind and equality and all that stuff. And it was so, and you're in a fucking culture where black people aren't allowed to drink out of the goddamn water fountain with you. In other words, it's like when you're at Anthony's house.
Yes, that's back by my pool. Yes.
But do you know what I mean? It wasn't like it is now. It wasn't post. It wasn't Jimmy Carter was like seen as this like knight in shining armor.
Oh boy!
Listen, it comes down to this.
Exactly. So now we're post Carter, post Clinton, post whatever. It's different now. They've had their day in the sun, and it can't be what it was.
It comes down to corporation. It comes down to everything. It's all fucking numbers.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying, though.
From clubs to radio to everything is numbers.
You can't just write everything off as, everything's bullshit now, and it's all horseshit, and everything's the same no matter who gets all. You can't just say that anymore.
Yeah. No, you can't.
No,
I think
you can't. You can, but what?
You don't think so?
Because that offers you nothing.
Yeah.
That makes it like you don't maybe hope a little bit of fucking something will ooze in that'll switch things up, that enough people will get disgusted with something that it actually does change.
In my opinion, believing in government is like believing in God. It makes you feel good. It makes you sleep a little bit better at night, and it makes you think that you might have a fighting chance at some sort of utopian existence, but you don't. It's not out there. It's bullshit. And it's been proven, particularly in the last 15 years, 10 years, whatever, with what has happened in the presidency. People said, we don't want Bush, we hate him. Then he stole the election, got it anyway. At the end of his first term, the most hated or unpopular president in the history of this country went right in again for another 4 years. Then Obama steps in. Everybody goes, it's all going to change. He's going to end this. He's going to change that. This is going to be different. He gets into office. Nothing changes. Things continually get worse. He sends more troops in to this war that he campaigned on stopping as soon as he got into office.
Yeah.
It's all bullshit. At the end of the day, money conquers everything. There is no hope. It will never get better. The machine has been running this way for a long time.
Yeah.
And people think a couple sit-ins and protests are going to make a fucking difference, and it's not.
But
it's not.
I'm talking about like real change as far as the people's attitude. But people are so fucking apathetic. People aren't passionate about anything. As long as they do have their little corner of the world notched out, and they do have a job, they can, maybe buy a little car, and that. No one wants to achieve anything more. No one really tries. We don't try as a country to make things better.
It's been beat out of us.
It has been. You're right.
People are living in fear. That's what they're on a daily basis, on a weekly basis,
Now, fear of what?
Fear of losing their job, fear of losing their house, fear of saying something where they could lose their job, then lose their house. Fear of every fucking thing that has been brainwashed into their head. They're running scared, and that's basically what's happening. Anywhere from entertainment to don't say this, don't do that, to hearing radio, don't do this, don't do that. It's all about money, numbers, and fear.
So what's the end game? Where does it go?
Here's where it goes, because, like he says, when you're doing your own thing, when you do podcasts, okay, no one can tell you what to do. There's no FCC, there's none of that crap. It's a podcast. When you're on stage as a comic, that's one of the last places you're allowed to use the freedom of speech. Although one comic was tweeting about another one, which was all bullshit. So people are running scared that are working in fucking companies that are going, holy fuck, are we going to close tomorrow? People, and then they're trying to fucking, it's left, it's right, go on the left, go on the right. That's all bullshit. It's all big money.
Wait. But we know where we are. Where does it go? How does it end?
Individually.
This is
I don't think so.
But I have a bit about similar to what you're talking about like we live in this culture where every action is determined on one thing, that there will be no reaction. You're scared. You're on videotape constantly. You're under surveillance. So you're scared you're going to get sued. We're in a crumbling economy, so you're scared you're going to lose your job. Whatever. It goes on and on. There's fear. It's just fear surrounding everybody all the time, so nobody wants to react to anything. So they poke you in the fucking forehead. They poke you in the chest. They keep you down. And I don't mean just the authorities. I mean you and me. I'm in the street. I bump into you. You don't say, excuse me, and we go, fuck it, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to argue with this guy because what if this happens? What if I get shot? What if I get stabbed?
Right.
My boss just called me a cunt in front of the entire audience. Or or in front of the entire office. I don't want to get fired. You know what I mean? It's all these things, right? So the end game is nothing. This is where it's been headed.
This is where we are, and it can't turn into anything else.
This is where it's been headed for years and years and years. They finally succeeded in turning this country into Disney World. You know, it's 50 states of Disney World. It's a fucking theme park.
There's got to be a backlash of some sort.
Well, there can't. And here's the thing: they got us where they want us, and it's not going to change. And here's why: you can get angry about it as much as you want, and that's what Occupy Wall Street was. It was people saying I know, but to just look at it as an example, it was people saying we're angry, we're tired of this shit. Okay, we want to make our voices heard. Okay, great. Well, guess what? They showed with that whole movement, in a very delicate way, we will turn this place into a fucking police state if we have to. You know, people see these revolts in Egypt and Libya and wherever else, and they go, look, a difference can be made. Yeah, in those countries.
Yeah.
You think after the shit that took place here in the 60s, they're going to let that happen again? They're going to let people march and make they're never going to fucking let that happen again. It's absolutely true. Look, you can march.
You can do a useless march.
It's not going to change anything.
You can do useless marches.
It's not going to change anything unless you're willing to fight the cops.
Right,
that's it.
Right. Here's the end game. You want to know the end? When your 4-year-old writes you Happy Valentine's Day, I love you, Daddy. That's the end game, because you know what? The end game is within yourself.
Are you serious?
No, yes, here's the end game. It's within
yourself. What is this, the Wizard of Oz?
No, listen to me, you fucking homos.
My heels.
It's when you...
You're calling us homos with that?
Okay.
A 4-year-old writing a Valentine's Day card?
You're right, because everything
it all
else...
ends with a sled named fucking
it's all
Rosebud.
Listen to me. Everything else is bullshit.
Boss's
because you
shitty
can't...
movie ending.
No, God. Everything else, you can't win.
Which farmers are playing me and Anthony in your fantasy?
I'm telling you.
Come on, Rich.
It's not a fantasy. The fantasy is what's going to make
you
yourself happy. Happy is within what's going to make you fucking happy. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? The government, and I'll use it as an example for me. Can't take my sobriety away. They can't stop me from not doing drugs. They can't stop me from not being on stage. They can stop the improv.
Well, it sounds like great stuff.
Well, no, but what are you saying? But what are you saying?
I'm saying,
you can't fight
how
the
about
fucking...
true freedoms? How about true freedoms making me happy?
You don't want true freedoms because you have everything fucking monitored around your house. You have everything monitored wherever you go. So what the fuck? What if you're not monitoring? If you want to monitor everything, why can't everything else be monitored around you?
How about true freedoms? How about I just yesterday got my reapplication for my New York City pistol permit in the mail?
Yes.
20 fucking pages of shit that's got to be filled out. $500 that's got to be given to them, and then they still got to review shit. And it's like, this is supposed to be my Second Amendment right. There's not enough true freedoms left.
Well, they're earning a dime in everybody. That's the difference. There's a difference. They're finding any way possible they can to make fucking money.
How about the fact that maybe I want to take down a tree in my yard or plant a tree or something, and I need a permit? I want to put a fence up in my yard. I need a permit. I need somebody to come in and give me a variance. I need permission. Is that really true freedom? If I buy my house and pay it off, but don't pay my taxes on the property, I lose my house that is supposed to be my house? It's not really my house then.
It's not. Exactly.
You don't own anything. You have no freedom to do anything, really. Go outside and with a little .22 rifle and try to hunt a rabbit for dinner around your neighborhood. Watch how quick you get fucking guns drawn on you. There's no freedom, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah. There's no true freedom to do anything.
Crockett, you're not
It's an example, shithead.
That was a bad example. That sounded really crazy.
But it's not crazy. I'm not talking about down on Queens Boulevard. I'm saying if you even live out east in Suffolk County and go in the woods and safely.
But you said down the street. Now you're in the woods.
I pictured your neighborhood when you said that, and it looked crazy.
I didn't mean going across the neighbors' lawns and plunking away at bunny rabbits and cats.
So you're on the subway and you're hungry, and you pull out your fucking Uzi, okay? You never know when a rabbit's going to run by. You fucking psychopath.
Jerky. What I'm saying is, we don't really have freedoms. That they say we live in the greatest nation. We're not free to do anything.
You're right.
Not really.
But you're free to pursue
You're
your
free
dreams.
to follow the fucking rules. That's what you're free to do.
Yeah, right. And there should be rules.
But
you don't think there should be rules?
Not to the extent that we have.
Where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line?
Well, a few fucking rules back.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
That makes your life easier.
But here's the thing.
No, it makes everybody's life freer, not easier. It might even be more dangerous out there. But the freedoms that are taken away under the guise of keeping us safe are taking away freedoms.
That's exactly right, but you're saying exactly what I'm saying.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, what I'm saying to you is...
Kathy's a cunt.
That Voss's story was gay.
Right,
That's
that
really
too.
what
The
this is coming down to.
4-year-old writing a card.
I just wanted
It's
to
all
bring
in
that back.
yourself. Oh, I hope you meant AIDS.
Whoa.
Whoa. I'm sitting in for Jimmy Norton.
I know.
I'm teasing, of course. I love Jimmy.
Hold on a second. I got to burp.
Oh.
We're saying this... we're saying the same thing.
You're saying it with gas.
We're saying the same thing.
Yes.
And that is, I ate KFC last night. We don't have these freedoms. We absolutely... Shut up for a second. Let me finish. We don't have these freedoms. You're absolutely right. And all I'm saying is, in addition to that, nothing is going to change that. Nothing. Yes. It will never change. It's not going to... And maybe if you campaign for your entire fucking life, your stupid city council or township board will go... all right, well, cut the fucking tree down, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Who wants to deal with that? Forget it. There will, and again, call back to that Carlin thing. It's allowances. That's all it is. It's little allowances to give you the idea that you can make a difference, to make yourself feel better, right? But if it came to a real change, if it came to a real allowance, if it came to really fucking the 1%, it would be a goddamn police state. It would be. There's a reason there's a 1%, and there's a reason they get away with murder.
Because they support the fucking rest of the country.
They support the rest of the world.
Yes, exactly.
So it's they're not going anywhere. It's not going to change. That's not going to. And to speak to your point, you can have these little queefy things in your fucking life that make you happy. Of course, we all have. I know, but we all have them. Whatever it is, we all have our little things that make us want to get out of bed in the morning.
Moments, right.
But the point is it's either you're off the fucking radar. And you can be off the radar even as a millionaire. But you're either off the radar, you keep your head down and your mouth shut, essentially, or you try to jump into the fight, which is fucking pointless.
Well, yes,
it's pointless. So all you can do is just step back and go, you know what? I'm going to just watch this whole thing. I'll have intellectual discussions with people, but I'm not getting my hands dirty. It's pointless.
Look,
it's pointless.
You see Anthony's point. Of course, there's too much security. It's all bullshit. But insurance prices are fucking $20,000 a year for me in Jersey. My property tax, my fucking car insurance.
Right.
It's insane. It's insane. Okay, and that's the things you have to fight for to lower your fucking taxes, your health insurance.
But it's not going to be lowered to the point. Here's what it should be. Here's what it should be. When you decide you're done fucking working and that you've stocked up enough money to keep you in food and clothing and whatnot, you shouldn't be held hostage to the government to still pay all these taxes, or you'll lose your house, lose your property, lose your insurance. There's too much shit that even when you're done with life and just want to lay back and fucking soak in the rays, you're still fucking hostage to the government. You have to pay them fucking mob money so they don't take your shit.
And you will be. That will never stop.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. That shit's got to stop. I know it won't, but it won't.
But here's how they'll get you to get it to stop, right? Because here's what it is. This is a machine, as we've already said, right? It's a fucking machine. A machine works with parts that are willing to connect and work together harmoniously within the machine. That's how the machine works.
I think you're speaking figuratively.
If the machine has a bad part, if there's a cog or whatever, or a chink in the armor, whatever you want to call it, it needs
racism. It's part of the racism.
Listen,
man.
Listen. All right, you're right.
There's
I'm
no
sorry.
room for that here.
It's you're right. I'm sorry. I'd like to apologize.
If your shed is missing a spade,
I'd like to apologize to the chinks for what I just
people
said.
that wear armor.
People that wear armor.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding. Listen, I love Asian people. I was just kidding. Just kidding.
Love
All right.
everybody.
Anyway, here's the thing. If you're gonna be a bad part in the machine will spit you out. And the way it does that is it says to a guy like you, okay, you don't want to worry about high property tax, you don't want to worry about this, you don't want to move to this fucking piece of land in the woods in Montana that nobody gives a shit about.
Write a manifesto.
But you're not going to be here.
No.
You're not going to be anywhere you want to be. Go to Canada. Go to Europe. Whatever. Go to a fucking island that's a paradise, but you live by yourself.
America's supposed to be the place that's free. Like, that's supposed to be the place.
Bullshit.
But you know
I
what?
know.
You got to pay.
I just wish other people would know that.
Jersey has the highest in fucking taxes and everything. But you do have to pay something. I mean, someone is fucking fixing the roads and building highways and doing this and that. So you do have to pay some type of money into it. So you have the convenience to get to your house.
50% of the nation don't.
I said some. I didn't say that much, okay? Insurance, they have to pay fucking doctors and hospitals. So where's the even medium? Where's the balance? There's no balance.
Here's what it is. There's no way out. There's no fucking way out of it till you die. Till you die, there's no way out of the debt and the paying. And once you get in the game, you can't get out of it and have a lifestyle that you're accustomed to.
There is a way out. You just don't want it.
What is it? Live in a shack? I'm saying...
That's the point. Right now, you're staying in the Four Seasons. You're in the Four Seasons right now.
Yes.
Or the W or wherever, right? And you're sitting here going, I got to fucking pay... all this fucking money for the room, and I got to pay $25 a day for internet? Are you shitting me? I should have free internet. And they're going, you want free internet? Go to the fucking Red Roof Inn.
The Hampton,
right over there.
Hampton.
And you're like, I don't want to go to the Red Roof Inn. And they're going, well, then pay for fucking internet.
I don't like your analogy because I'm done. I'm done. I now own the place.
But you get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying.
I understand it. I just don't like the fact that there's no way out of the game.
There's a way out of the game. It's you sell your house and you move to a place where it's not the game anymore.
To keep your shit. You've paid all your shit. You've paid it off.
You haven't. You think you have, but you haven't.
That's exactly it, and that's the point. Exactly. We agree. I'm just saying I wish there was some fucking revolutionary way to get rid of this system where you can't stop running on the fucking treadmill.
You see what happens to revolutionaries in this country?
Well,
the government throws Molotov cocktails into their fort. That's what happens. I think they said there's babies in there. Well, whatever.
Yeah. Well, fuck it. Fuck it. Yeah, this guy wants to live in this house and not fucking pay his shit and not register his weapons and not do this. All right. Throw in the fucking fire. Throw in some fire. How about a little fire, Scarecrow? That's pretty much what they did. They used the Wicked Witch tactic on the Scarecrow for when these revolutionaries perk up.
Yeah, that's it. They'll smoke you
Throw
out.
a little fire. I've grown up with a lot of faith in the government and a lot of respect for it, and I'm not a revolutionary in that sense of the word. But I look at this and think that maybe there's a way to switch it up without a bloody fucking militia-based revolution against the government.
There's not.
But then you realize, no, you're just stuck. And then even after you're dead, They will tax what's left that goes to your fucking family because you're dead.
Did you ever watch? Sorry,
it makes no sense to me that you're stuck in it. You're stuck on the hamster wheel until even after you're dead.
Did you ever watch? Hoffa? Did you ever watch Hoffa or read about the Teamsters and all that shit?
Yeah.
It's like they fucking had to fight the cops.
Yes.
They had to fist fight the cops. People think like the Teamsters, like, oh, that was a nice thing that they did for the truckers. It's like people literally died so truckers could get a better hourly wage. It's fucking ridiculous.
Paid them a good wage.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, and it's, to me, this whole thing, like trying to make a change, trying to make a difference, whatever it is. In this day and age, back in the 30s, 40s, whatever, I think you maybe had a fighting chance. Maybe even up to the 60s. But now, in this day and age, to me,
the glue has set. Yeah, there's no changing the pieces around anymore.
Exactly. And the best analogy for me is the Ticketmaster, the Pearl Jam Ticketmaster analogy. It's like we fought and we fought and we fought and we fought because Ticketmaster is evil. Fuck these fees. Our tickets will now be 25 cents cheaper after a 10-year fucking bloodbath. It's like you're going to get this.
It doesn't matter. Now, when you hear the politicians talking about change and how they're going to do this and that and the other thing and change things and make your life better, and then you listen to what we're talking about, the change that would, like, the huge change. You know, huge change in the taxes, huge change in how you're treated after you want to leave the game. You realize what little these motherfuckers even have the ability to do.
Right.
It's horrifying.
They're more, well, I mean, anybody of power, they're all fucking morons. They can't balance the budget.
Well, they could be the smartest guys in the world, but they're powerless to change anything, even if they really honestly wanted to change something, which I don't think they do. They just want their jobs and perpetuate that. But there's no changing it. Like Joe said, the machine is working, it's moving, the parts are whizzing by, and there's no way to, unless you throw a fucking monkey wrench in there, there's no way to change the parts when it's moving as quickly as it's moving.
Well, because they're all saying no, because no keeps their jobs. When Governor Christie says, I'm going to raise the tolls 50% on the turnpike, 50%.
Yeah.
Okay, all his fucking advisors, any of them say, you can't do that. Bye. I don't need you. You know, so it's all yes people to these people. They can't balance any fucking budgets. The people are paying. Like I say, no other business can raise their price 50%. These fucking tunnels went from $8 to $12. No other business on this planet would raise their price 50%.
It is ridiculous.
And stay in business. I mean, it's not from $8 to $8.50, from $8 to $12 fucking dollars.
But
really,
who are you going to go to?
Nobody.
What are you going to go to the other? You're going to go to Bob's Tunnel? I'm taking Bob's Midtown Tunnel today.
Yeah,
they make it impossible. They make it impossible.
And then they all blame the other person. Well, the governor's
taking the George Washington Carver Bridge today. That's the one. It's a lot cheaper.
Yeah, try swimming across the fucking Hudson and see what they do to you.
And you know what? They'll arrest you.
Exactly.
You're not even allowed to swim.
That's it.
How about you want to take a rowboat across the Hudson every day and go to work that way so you don't have to pay any tolls? You get arrested.
And dude, do you think, look, I know this might be a little overly paranoid or whatever, but do you think there isn't some aspect of this where, with like the Hudson is the most disgusting, polluted fucking pile of shit water.
So fucking polluted.
You know, the Schuylkill River is the same way around Philly and stuff. Do you think there's not somebody sitting there going, leave it dirty so nobody tries to rowboat across
so no
the
one goes
fucking
in
thing?
It. Yeah.
It's like a goddamn poisonous moat. Like, they'll pay the $12. Nobody's fucking trying to do that thing.
The whole country's in a quick fix mood.
Yeah.
They're in for a quick fix. The airlines, everything is quick. What can we do now to make quick money? What can we take away from them? It's all a quick fix, and it never works. They're not looking to build future customers. They're looking right the fuck now, tomorrow. What are we going to do?
Well, when we keep giving them all the money they want to spend frivolously, why would they want to change anything? We're great saps. We're fucking sheep. We bitch about it, but I write that fucking check every 3 months that goes to the government.
And that goes full circle back to the technology thing. We're sheep. They're sitting there going, if we just put a camera in everybody's hands, they'll do it to themselves.
They'll take pictures of each other fucking up.
They'll do it to themselves. Yeah. We can monitor all of it. We're monitoring the cell phones already.
We
Let them videotape each other on it.
We're
no
our own
way.
big brother. That's how it worked out in the end. Of
course.
We ended up being the bad guys to ourselves by fucking popping our cell phones up at the drop of a fucking hat whenever anyone's doing anything.
How does all science and technology progress? Anything in science and technology progresses in one way.
Jews.
Grants. It's all developed through grants.
Ulysses, that's something.
It's all developed through grants, and grants are provided by either the government or the lobbyists that fund politicians. That's it. It's all fucking connected.
You're getting into something a little more devious. We talked about this earlier, but you're giving the government a lot more credit. I think they're capitalizing on what's happening more so than causing what's happening as far as technology goes. They see something. They see a company like Apple, and they invent a phone with a camera. It gets very popular. Now people are snapping pictures and video of their neighbors doing things, putting it up on YouTube, and arrests are directly being made because of that. I don't think they said, our plan is working perfectly. They're eating these cameras up.
I think that they conveniently go hand in hand. I think, or a little too coincidentally fit together.
I think they appreciate when technology like this comes out because it makes it easier for them to keep tabs on shit. But I don't think they're the ones behind the manufacturing and development of it.
But you can't. Well, here's the thing: you can't tell me this. It just can't be. It can't be. They can't be mutually exclusive. They just can't be. A government that has the ability. You know, we talked about this months and months ago when Bobby and Billy and I were on here together. You talk about a government that has that had technology in the fucking 70s to make phone calls from an airplane, right? That was strictly exclusive government technology. There's no way Apple beat them to the punch with the development of phone technology. They just didn't. There's no way Apple was like, hey, government, we figured out this Minority Report technology where you slide things with your finger on a screen. There's no fucking way they had it first.
So you think that us as consumers and as the populace wouldn't ever buy a government-made camera device? We'd be like, hey, we want all you people to have one of these. We'd be like, fuck you, I'm not carrying a government camera device to rat out my neighbors. But then when a company like Apple comes around and sells it, now we're willing to be cool and have this device, and meanwhile it's got the same end.
Who do you think is coming up with this for the government?
Well,
it's
the
people from Apple, and it's not.
That's my point. This is just so funny. As you were yelling that, and I was thinking about what I said and what Anthony just said. This is really turning into like the end of Awakening.
I know, yeah.
They're all against us. We need to revolt. Listen, we sound really paranoid.
Oh, we do. It's great.
But here's the thing. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's not the government going. Well, it is. It's everything we're saying right now. It's the government going to a company like Apple and going, listen, we sort of have this thing that we've got, and we want to develop that further, and we think you guys are great contractors to do that. So we'll fund you to develop your product if you help us develop ours. And what do you say we put the cameras into the phones, and that's in our interest because whatever. There's no fucking way it doesn't work like that. It has to work like that.
See, that is that one more step that I'm not willing to take quite yet. And believe me, I'm a cynical motherfucker, and I do believe there are shenanigans going on in the government, but I just don't see them being that smart to figure out how to get all of us to carry cameras, recording devices, little typewriters, so we can type out where we are, what we're doing, what we're up to, what our friends are up to.
If Frank Sinatra and every other celebrity that seems to be at that sort of status, and I know that that's a pretty big status, but if from Hoboken,
yes,
if Frank Sinatra was in bed basically with every president, whatever that ever lived, and you see all these celebrities hobnobbing around the White House, and you see the Foo Fighters doing a $32,000 per ticket fundraiser for Obama and all this stuff. You see all these things. If just those motherfuckers are getting knocks on the door and phone calls from the government and the president and whoever else, What do you think Bill Gates is getting? There is no fucking way a guy like Bill Gates, you can't,
broken
for
down.
Christ's sakes, anybody that's influential in a revolutionary way is dead. Is dead, assassinated, shot, boom, fucking dead. You know, that's why I always laugh when people go, can you believe Obama, there's never been an assassination? It's like, yeah, I could totally believe it. What do you think? Some fucking redneck from Mississippi knows how to get anywhere near Obama to try to assassinate him?
Right.
Assassinations come from more devious places than that.
You think a little closer to the source?
I think so. That's just my opinion, and I'm not trying to say anything that's too inflammatory. I'm just saying, like...
No, you're just saying what it is. Yeah.
You know, it's like, but you read the conspiracies around Malcolm X and Kennedy and Martin Luther King. This comes up a lot. Who was really behind the assassination, whatever.
Right.
Every revolutionary that gets to a certain level, boom, fucking dead. There's no way that somebody that is worth financially what Bill Gates is worth and that has had the influence on the culture that he has had, tremendous influence, that the government is not knocking on his fucking door. There's just no way. It's far too dangerous. You can't let a man like that operate freely and go, hey, I'm worth billions. I basically control the computer industry. You know, I do whatever I want. Bullshit, you're going to fucking do whatever you want. There's no way.
Well, what do they do when
There's
he got
no way.
when he got too much money? What's it called when they dissembled him? When Gates had too much money, they fucking no, I don't know the word. That's what I'm saying. Where they where he was too big and they fucking basically put a halt to it. You remember what I'm talking about? I'm not trying to make it. I just don't know the word.
I
don't know
swear,
either.
I don't really antitrust laws.
Whatever.
No.
He was too powerful, and they, you know,
when they had a monopoly on something.
Yeah, he had like. You know, he lost like $160 million that day, or whatever.
Yeah, there was something.
There
with
are antitrust
monopoly
suits that come up.
There was something about the monopoly laws that Microsoft had a monopoly on the computer industry.
Yeah.
Something like that. I know what you're talking about. I can't remember either. But it's like, come on, man. It's like this fucking guy's company has the only operating system. The only operating system for every computer. There is no fucking way the government did not have some involvement in this process.
In what was going on,
There's
you think?
no way. There's no way. Now, I guess you could counter-argue and go, well, what about the Internet? The worldwide Internet, and it's unpoliced. So, I don't know. Maybe.
You think it's unpoliced?
A lot of people do get in trouble for what they post and what they do.
A lot of people, well, let's put it this way.
It's being policed by, if not the government, by other people.
Yeah, that's true.
It's unpoliced.
Snitches. Wow.
It's unpoliced in the sense that you can do illegal shit on it without fucking question. You can do illegal shit on the Internet if you wanted to.
Yeah, but you can get caught. It's like anything else. You could do illegal shit in real life and not get caught.
Yeah, all right, well.
It's probably easier, but
my argument gets even stronger.
Even stronger there, Joe. Wow. We do sound like a bunch of paranoid. What is this, Art Bell? It's a fucking Art Bell show? When did the UFOs come into play in this fucking conversation?
Yeah.
Area 51, I swear it.
You're going to look over your shoulder and see your three imaginary friends?
Yes. Oh, shit. Well, you know what? We've...
Or audience members.
All the smartphones can help crime easily.
I thought they were calling in.
All the smartphone stuff can help you get away with a crime as easily as it can get you caught for a crime. That's, Taylor from Canada. What does he mean by that? Let's talk to Taylor. Hi, Taylor. Taylor?
So that's my.
Go ahead, Bright Eyes. Talk, Bright Eyes.
I'm talking. That's my problem with Joe's argument. You could create a perfect alibi using your check-ins with Facebook and Foursquare, and tweeting.
Oh, you can?
You could use that to get away with a crime as much as you could get caught.
Well, that's absolutely not true. You could use that as an alibi in the sense that you could give someone your phone and go, just say I was here, there, and then this, or go to McDonald's while I rob the bank and check in. But I mean, then it's just a matter of the cops getting to, or the authorities getting to the person that you gave your fucking phone to.
Vincent D'Onofrio will fucking tear that down in pieces.
Yes. And then there's other cameras in places like, well, if you were there and you say we're there, why are you on camera at this fucking, Starbucks or some shit? Because everyone goes to Walmart or something. It's like, well, here's a video of them buying duct tape and fucking clothespins and razor blades.
Can't they make can't they make the security camera footage better than that fucking claymation stop motion?
It really
Every time
is.
you see it, it's like it skips like 10 frames between every movement.
Be like that. What the fuck?
That's because the government hasn't got a hold of it yet.
24 hours a day of video, it's going to be shitty.
Yeah, no shit.
Not these days.
It's called a joke, you Taylor douche.
How about you buy terabyte after terabyte of hard drive space and just fucking dump nice HD video onto it?
Well, you heard what AT&T is doing if you're an unlimited customer and you're using too much data.
What do they do?
They throttle your phone. They slow down your data.
They slow your phone down so you can't eat as much?
Yeah, so you can't eat.
Motherfuckers.
How do you fight that? How do you fight AT&T when you already got unlimited data? That's what you... Here's another one.
Joe's putting a fart in Rich's face.
It doesn't matter.
Rich tries to
I'm just going to listen to his
something.
CD. Here's another one. I joined Bally's. As a lifetime member, gold member, years ago.
He rocks with bellies.
Okay. So they went.
Happy birthday, E-Rock.
Bellies.
I thought you were going to say Bailey's.
Listen, they went and sold. They went, and in my deal, I get to go to Bally's around the country.
His favorite machine is the snack machine.
He's working out. Yeah, I'm going to hit the machine today.
I'm doing E3. I'm doing 10 reps on E3.
The Stairmaster, he just stares at it.
He does crunches or Nestle's.
Happy birthday, E-Rock. Oh, poor boy. So Captain Crunches.
The Stairmaster.
Yeah, he just stares at it as he eats cookies.
He stares at it. So Bally's, my deal was, I'm a lifetime member. I get to work out at Bally's around the country. Okay, I pay a yearly dues, okay, just in case. And I've only used it maybe once a year for $80. But Bally's went and sold most of the clubs to LA Fitness. Now, I can't use LA Fitness. What the fuck? I was a lifetime member. Where's my money back?
Oh, you don't get that back.
I signed
It's in
on.
the contract.
I signed on with Bally's.
You signed a contract that allows them to do anything they want.
It's insane.
Non-transferable. You can't do this. You can't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and look, you could probably theoretically fight that until you got your money back, but at the end of the day, you're going to go, oh Christ, what am I making? $300?
$70,000 to get back $500.
Yeah, exactly.
But doesn't it scare you a bit about what I was talking about earlier with where you can't get out? You need to earn money in some way, shape, or form. Now, you might get lucky and have a retirement account that does pay for everything for the rest of your older life, but don't you wonder, man, am I going to be able to even afford to have a fucking roof over my head?
Are you kidding me? I worry about that for next year.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck retirement.
Yeah, this is the conversation Voss and I have every other day, by the way.
Listen,
It's
my
terrifying.
fucking health insurance is $20,000 a year. That
crazy.
means I have to make $30,000 to pay $20,000, basically, when it comes to tax. Okay, that's just health insurance. I don't even want to get fucking my CD Still Empty Inside on iTunes is what's paying for me.
So buy it.
I'm not pushing every fucking thing. It's crazy. We talk about this on Foamy and DeRosa. Everybody's money is going up. Every company's, every business, yet our money is going down. And even if you're doing numbers, I did last week. I did over 1,000 people.
Every comic I talk to, the club owners are just.
It's ridiculous.
Last week, I did over 1,000 fucking people and made less money than I would have made 5 years ago doing 600 people. See what I'm saying?
And it's not everybody, but there's a lot of clubs out there. They're offering less money than they were offering people in the 90s.
Yes.
Literally, unless you're a celebrity.
And there's
or a big sell, whatever. But like it's the base level money. They're offering, a lot of them are offering less than they were offering in the 90s. It's like I'm about to go on this tour through the Southeast. Like I'm going to it's actually this month.
Atlanta?
I'm going to Georgia. I'm going to North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee. So actually, listeners, come out to the shows, please. But I'm doing like small clubs and small venues, rock venues, small clubs, that pay less, but pay less for good reason, because it's a smaller venue, and also more are openly artistic venues where you can conceivably be like, well, okay, if I'm not going to make a ton of money, I'll go do those venues and grassroots it. And try to have a little more control over what I'm doing, versus trying to get into the machine and make less money, and then at the end of the day going, well, what the fuck? I saw 68 plates of salmon go out while I was on stage. Why am I getting no money right now?
And not only that, they appreciate it. Like when you work certain places, it's like I worked a place like 4 years ago, and I pretty much almost sold out except for. And I go,
except for all the shows.
And I go to the manager, and these guys are managers that could manage the Fridays. They just know, like when you're doing a club like Joe does, they appreciate. They're going, oh, you were great, you were funny. One, because they don't. It's not like how many seats you sell.
Right.
They want to get people in, okay? And the good thing for Joe, when he does a place like that, it's one night. He can't get fired because he's only doing one night. They can't say, well, you can't do the rest of the week, because he goes, hey, guess what? I'm not here anyhow. So just give me my fucking money and deal with the garbage I just did up there.
It just sounds like...
I knew there was an insult coming.
Yeah, of course.
Because I was trying to be nice to you, but you went and said for the whole week. You attacked me first. Passive-aggressive Mike Babiglia with fucking tits.
Wow.
Go fuck yourself. All right?
Wow.
What I'm saying
I know what you're saying, Rich.
You've been knocking me all day.
I haven't knocked you once. I agree with you most of the day.
Did you hear this? I did knock you. Did you hear how he lies?
How many times did I compliment you today, and how many times did you compliment me?
Every time you compliment me, you're insulting me, and you think that I don't understand what you're doing.
No.
Your community college joke bombed, so you acted like it wasn't an insult.
It wasn't a bomb. I was truly saying you have a good vocabulary, and that impresses me. I don't have my wife has a good vocabulary, and I said, "Oh, okay, Joe." But the bottom line is, I truly am impressed by your vocabulary.
To say stupid. She's got a great vocabulary,
and you got physical. You threw my glasses. He threw my glasses.
He's a very violent man.
You got to see how he threw my glasses. I'm telling you, it's like he was frolicking. He threw it like a fairy throwing dust. He's fucking a piece of fat shit. And let me tell you something. That's why.
All right. Rich can't be nice for a show. Just guys hanging out yapping. He's got to get the little digs in there. You, Rich.
You got.
Where are you going? He's all mad.
Where you going?
Get him the fuck out of here.
I get the fucking digs in. You know what? I'm done.
Look, let me tell you something. I'm not staying here a minute past 10. What a great time. I've had a lot of fun today, Joe. Thanks for showing up. Rich, you guys plugging where you're going to be?
Yes. I'm not going to, but I don't want to plug because I don't want to hear it, but I'm at Marissa's tonight in Trumbull, Connecticut, and Mohegan Sun tomorrow. And next week I'm in Arizona. Fuck, I can't wait, man.
That's nice.
Yeah, I'm going
to
Arizona. And my CD still empty inside. Not one bad review. Not one. And all the haters. Anthony has seen me live just recently.
Yes.
Just recently.
Very funny. Very fucking funny.
Okay. Believe me. Get the fucking CD. And you know what? Anybody on that fucking dumb message board I'm done with, go fuck yourselves. Not the nice people.
How are you even going on message boards these days?
Because you want to keep in touch with...
You keep in touch with other things. Message boards are a thing of the past.
I know, but most of the fans that come out are good fans. The guys that came to Baltimore, they were fucking great.
Joe, what are you going to
do? Please follow, God, I keep saying follow. Please subscribe to the You Know What Do podcast on iTunes, riotcast.com, and I'm going on tour this month, in March, mid-March.
You have a bus?
Holy shit.
Dude, did I make fun of your fucking plugs?
I'm asking about your tour.
No, you're not.
Guy's
Stop
fucking doing his plugs, and Rich can't leave it alone.
I'm going on
You know what? I'll tell you what. At least on this tour,
okay, King Crimson.
at least on this, I'm calling it tour because I'm driving for 2 fucking weeks straight of gigs. I'm driving from gig to gig. That's a tour. What else would you fucking call it? And guess what? I'm not playing in any restaurants like you are tonight.
Good food. Good food.
Is it good? Good. Well, I hope you enjoy eating your paycheck.
He's getting mad. Why are you getting mad?
I'm not. I'm fine with your back, you cocksucker.
Wow, these two are like fucking a snake and a mongoose.
Here's for half the plug.
Can I get my fucking plug out, please?
If you know the names of your tour clubs.
Okay, I'm touring.
Somewhere in the southeast.
Listen, I'm going this tour. It's called the Hey, at least it's not Voss tour. So please come out to a show because it'll be fun. Now, 2 weeks. Stop.
Holy shit, Rich is fucking losing his mind laughing. Uh-oh. DeRosa just threw Rich's jacket. Oh, man, you just drooled all over the place. Rich. There was a string of drool. You look like Alien. Now he's choking to death.
What's wrong
This is a
with you?
catastrophe.
I'll never pick you on my baseball team.
Oh, God.
All right.
Do you see why we need to have another softball game?
I know, right? Just to watch DeRosa throw.
Jesus.
That is one girly-ass throw you got.
We were talking about this in the back office, and we were trying to decide who would be the last people to get picked for teams, and DeRosa definitely made the bottom.
Without a doubt.
That's why the girl never paid you. Threw her the check and it didn't reach her.
Oh, thank God.
Get out of here,
All
you
right.
fucking walking bomb. All right, I'm touring through the southeastern states. I'm leaving in like a week and a half. It's going to kick off at the lab in Greenville, South, or is that North Carolina? South, I don't know. The lab in Greenville, South Carolina. Then going on to the Laughing Skull in Atlanta. I'm doing JJ's Bohemia in Tennessee. I'm doing Nut Street in North Carolina. Like, go to JoeDeRosa.com. Excuse me, JoeDeRosaComedy.com for details. JoeDeRosaComedy.com. Guys, please come out. These are going to be really cool fucking shows.
Go see Joe. You bastards.
Yeah, no, really.
Yeah. Well, you can find me at Anthony Cumia at Twitter. And, of course, live from the compound on Ustream and on iTunes. Just
News and
search
Noteworthy.
Compound. Oh, yeah, always in there. I'm going to pop on there tonight and do a little program.
Right,
about something. I'm
in
sure
news and noteworthy,
news
as
and
Rich calls it.
News and noteworthy, not new and noteworthy. Right. News and noteworthy.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever,
right.
indeed. Rich is pulling out the release that everyone's got to sign to be on the show, and he just gets ready to write something, and Joe just smashes his hand on the fucking page, and it hits the ground.
I guess you didn't tell him about the pen I stuck in your banana, did you?
No, I didn't.
That sounds
Riotcast.com. Riotcast.com.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. Danny Ross, of course. The lovely Sam Roberts, who's coming up next on The Shit Show right here after. And E-Rock, happy birthday, wherever he is. Is he taking a dump?
No.
Ah, shit. Well, when E-Rock takes a dump, we can play that.
Do you have anything to say for your birthday, Eric?
Anything, E-Rock, for your birthday,
no,
the birthday boy?
you.
That's it? All right. Well, happy birthday. I hope you get something in your card. You seemed very devastated by that whole affair, didn't he?
Nothing in my cards. Best Buy card, something.
I think they were calling in from Rochester.
Oh, we blew him off, I think. We were in the middle of talking about how paranoid we were about fucking the government. I'm going to be looking behind me when I walk out. There's a black sedan following me.
Is that what you call them now,
sedans? Yes, sedans. Shit.
It really was a shadow government episode.
Yes, it really was. We've delved into some conspiracy issues. All right, well, I'm done. I'm going home, and it's the weekend. Good morning. Happy Friday. Good morning to you, and we'll see you Monday.
Hillary. Look at
Thank you.
What the fuck? Oh, he's older than the teachers, and he makes more money than the whole school. He's an alcoholic. He's Anthony. He's the oldest kid in class. He gets them drugs and fucks their heinies. His big delicious cock should be black. It's not. He's Anthony. Oh, he
he carries a trapper keeper full of Hitler photographs. He's Anthony. He's Anthony. He tries to be everyone's friend, but he gives all the girls the creeps. They think he's somebody's father who just showed up for no reason. He's Anthony. He's Anthony.